Hello. Hello, hi, hello. I'm alive. Technically. Technically, artificially. So, hi Beach. Hi Beach. Hi Yaga. Hi Mock. Never played a single one of them. I've been watching, I'm not gonna read everything because I've been watching while I've been drinking my drink. I watched a buddy play through 8 in about 12 hours, watched the light die in his eyes, and he's a self-proclaimed diehard fan. That's funny. How long did it take me to play 8? I think I did 8 in about 12, and about the same, about 12 hours. Not 7 I did in 9:42 because I did it in one sitting because it was during my streamathon. And then 8 I did it in 3. I think I did 8 in 3 4-hour streams. So funny story. So I went downstairs because my wonderful dragon fruit drink got delivered right as I started stream. So I ran downstairs to grab it, and my mom must have heard me, and so she like saw that I had my headset on. She's like, "Oh my god, are you streaming?" And I said, "Yeah, like the internet came back on. I'm gonna try to stream." And she got out of bed like all like in a daze, like all like groggy, like in a daze. And she like scurries out into the kitchen in her little nightie, and she's like, "I gotta make mac and cheese." And I was like, "Mom, it's 9 o'clock at night. Like, you don't have to do mac and cheese right now." I was like, "Do you want to make mac and cheese in your little nightie?" And she's like, "No, no." And I was like, "All right, we'll make mac and cheese another night." Like, she was so out of it because like we've had no internet for the past 3 days, so we've just kind of been like napping and eating and doing whatever we can. Like she's been like reading and knitting, and I've been playing Switch and stuff. Like we have power. We've had power. We wish had no internet. So she was all like in a daze. Like she like woke up and she's like, "Oh my god, it's time to make mac and cheese." Like it's not time for mac and cheese. That's it. That's the whole fucking game. The final boss fight in 8 is so yeah. What was 8? Oh yeah, it was Mother Miranda. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Almost living in the Dark Ages. I know. And like the funny thing is I don't think like I realized. I mean, I did realize, but you don't realize like how much of the world is connected like to the internet until the phones were also down. Like the data on the phones was like basically non-existent. Like you could like make phone calls and you could send text messages, but text messages would take several minutes to send. So it's like you couldn't even like do like a Wi-Fi hotspot, or like you couldn't even like check your email. Like, you know, like you were basically Amish. Basically, like I had power in my house, but I had like next to no connection to the outside world. Like loading Discord would take several minutes. Like I would literally open Discord and I would put my phone down and like walk away. Like I messaged Chaos at like 9 p.m. on Friday, and I didn't even realize that he had like messaged me back until like almost 24 hours later, because that's how long it took for like Discord to be like, "Ba-ding, you have a thing. You have a notification." So like it was crazy. Did you hear phantom dial-up sounds? No. That's really with the Great Depression. And like even though it was only 3 days, I literally started to like spiral, like because I was like, I missed Friday's stream, I missed Saturday's bonus stream and movie night, and I'm gonna potentially have to miss Sunday's stream. It's September, which like I'm not like a beggar like, "Oh, September, donate subs, blah blah blah," but it's like it's September, so it's like you kind of have like a little bit more of an incentive to stream in September, especially because Twitch is like giving free subs away. So I'm like, you know, I'm like, I want to at least like take advantage of the opportunity. Like there's a chance of like getting free subs. But like, so it's just like and I just like literally started spiraling. And then I went to Walmart twice. So I went to Walmart to get Zelda and I used the Wi-Fi there. I need to be a beggar. I know. And that's the thing is I just kept like seeing here that like leads everything. So I went to Walmart a couple times, and I like went to Starbucks a couple times, and like while I was out, I would like hop on other like Wi-Fi's and stuff to like check Twitter and check my email and like connect and like refresh all of my shit. And I just kept seeing all these people on Twitter like, oh my god, my community, between my community and Twitch giving free subs, I like reached an all-time sub goal, over 100 subs in one stream. And it's people who I'm like, who gave you 100 subs? But like, that's none of my fucking business. So like, I literally started like spiraling, and I was like seeing all these people like, oh my god, my community, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm literally like, in like the Starbucks parking lot with like one and a half bars, like trying to like check my Twitter, and I'm like, this is pathetic. So I just slept a lot. I slept a lot, and I played Zelda a lot, and I went in a 3-day long depressive spiral. But we're here. We're here. We're here. Dossier. Oh my god, Tally? I can get Tally back? Who? I know, that's what I was saying. Like, not like, again, and I'm like, and I feel bad because like when you have these conversations, it makes people be like, I'm gonna leave because she's like talking about shit I don't want to hear. Where are they? How do I entertain them? People don't know what they want. Let's be real. People don't know what they want. People don't know what they fucking want to watch. It drives me crazy that people don't know what they want to watch, because it's like they'll just watch whatever is force fed to them through Twitch's algorithm, and then they'll never leave and they'll never explore other things. So people just like Anyway. All right, so we have some new people I can get. It looks like I can get 3 new people. Thane, Tali, I can get Tali back, and Justasar, Samara. Oh, she's a season, sorry. Okay. Layer of the Shadow Broker. Thade and Samara are in the same place. Thane Krios is a Drell. Trained from childhood as an only assassin. I don't know what a Drell is. And then Tali is... Hi, Nikki! Welcome in. Your Sailor Moon tattoo came out so good. I think you already knew that though, but it came out so good. No. Okay. Alright, so let's go to... So you said that... I didn't even know you were awake. You scared the shit out of me. Bud, really don't. Okay, so they are where? Ilium, in the Thessali system of the Crescent Nebula. Can you write that down? Ilium, Thessali, Crescent. Ilium, Thessali, Crescent. Ilium, Thessali, Crescent. Oh wait, no, wait. I specifically remember I said I was gonna talk to my people. I specifically remember I was gonna talk to my people. Helium to Salad Crescent. Thank you. I don't remember where everyone is. You bet, fan. Thanks for looking out. Okay. How is volume? How is everything? I honestly, like, I haven't streamed literally in a week because Monday and Tuesday, like, work got crazy and then the hurricane happened, so I literally haven't streamed in a week. How is everything? Volume's good? Good. Hi, Tori. Welcome in.
That's all for now.
Just snuck on in here. Oh, Jack is downstairs. Helium croissant. Yes, helium salad croissant. Helium salad croissant. Hi, Jack. Oh my god, are you gonna tell me that you're not gonna talk to me?
Tell me about you, Jack.
Guys,
What are you
I hit my finger so hard that my acrylic nail like bent backwards, and my pinky nail is barely, like, my real pinky nail is barely holding on. I have like surgical sutures like holding it together right now. I hit it so hard. It hurts though, like I have to go on my mouse like this. Like I have to go on my mouse with my pinky up because it hurts so bad. I'm sorry.
I doubt Joker would appreciate that. At least not while we're working. Relax.
I'm getting
Joyriding
horky.
doesn't have the thrill it used to. Besides, if I wanted it, I'd take it.
That's
I've been around. Ran with gangs, wiped out some gangs, joined
I
a
like
cult.
how I never changed
Kept a
out of
haircut.
my like party
I learned how to
dress.
survive and not be a victim.
Tell me about the
It's
cult.
hard to imagine you in a cult. That usually involves a lot of rules.
But I like that it doesn't have the end
I was
stuff.
looking for
My
answers.
bones
Drugs
went all
and sex
jelly.
and going to a better place.
Lol.
A better place, right. It
My
was all about
core
money.
dress, but it's
They
not
wanted
even
to
my
take a
core dress, it's
colony,
my
shake
party
the suckers
dress.
down to fund their spread, and guess who was their ace in the hole? They were just like the rest. Didn't give one shit about me.
It says Deet. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember that YouTube channel Bad Lip Reading? And do you remember the Walking Dead one where she's like, he said Deet to me? I know it says death, but it just says Deet because the T, the H is on the thumb, so it just says Deet. He said Deet to me. Yeah, we used to quote the Twilight one all the time. You slapped the fish. Why would you do that? What happened?
What'd you do when you found out?
What do you think?
Okay, so you're bitter as hell.
You must have met some
Game
good
of Thrones
people,
ones as a
too.
theme park.
Everybody
Yeah.
wants something, and because of that, everything is fair game. Murder, assault, kidnapping,
It's all
drugs,
funny.
stealing,
Yeah, I know.
arson. Not at all.
And then
That's the
I
boring shit.
some of the
Piracy,
football
theft
ones
of
were really
military
funny
craft,
too.
Destruction of a space station, and vandalism. That was a good one.
Do you ever wonder if you could have done things differently?
No,
Why'd you put
Shouldn't
party
you?
in quotes?
there's no reason
Was
I
it
should
not
be
a
alive, but I am.
party?
You know why? Instinct. It's worked for me so far, and I'm not gonna change. Let's drop it, okay? Get back to whatever it is you think we can do.
Okay. Fine, I guess. Like, Corin. Party can mean many things. What kind of parties are you going to? What kind of parties are you going to? I miss Shorty. How are you? Ooh, ooh, Nikki. I didn't say it. I didn't read it out loud. I didn't say it out loud.
This mission takes me back.
How come nobody wants to talk to me? Alright, who else is on this level? Who else is on this level? Miss Shorty, how are you? Good to see you again. Sumi and Zaid never want to talk because they're DLC buttheads. Oh, Kasumi's on this level? Grunt, my child. Alright, hold on. Who was on this level? Grunt. Grunt's on this level. Oh, is he still in the same cargo? Been better, how are you? Honestly, been better because we had a hurricane here in
Shepherd.
Tennessee and I just got internet back literally about an hour ago. And the first thing I did was
checking in,
stream.
making sure you're acclimatizing.
The hold is too open.
But-
Not enough cover.
We were very
Armor is
fortunate.
limited.
I'm not gonna
Warlord
I'm not
Grant
going
would target
to
here to scatter
like I'm
heavy
gonna
cargo,
enter for 3
then
days. Like
focus on
we are
engines.
very,
That's
very,
what tank
very
imprints show
fortunate.
about human ships
Our
every
yard
day.
is flooded, but all
That's
of
how
our
I learned
animals
from
are
the tank.
okay.
Old
Our
pictures where
chickens
memory
were
is.
able to like
Secret
roost
mistake
and just
immediate
kind of like get
child.
up above the
Just
flood.
remember
Our
this
bunnies
picture
are
after picture.
elevated, so
No help with
everyone
finding
was
a
okay.
reason to care.
Work-wise, we lost an entire store, unfortunately. If you didn't see the video in Discord, an entire store was uprooted from the ground and was floating in a river. So we lost the store. We also lost a mobile bud truck, which was parked at the store that we lost. So we lost two things in one. And there's a lot of damage to another one of our stores. So yeah, so work-wise, it's rough. And I'm very fortunate. We're very, very, very fortunate. But so much of the world nowadays, so much of life nowadays is connected to the internet that it was very difficult to do anything. Especially like I mentioned earlier, it was especially difficult because like I couldn't, like, your phones were basically useless as well. So and when you go dark out of nowhere for a few days, people do work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And like I tried to hop into the Discord occasionally, but it was probably a bad idea because I was like sleeping and waking up and like, you know, so like every time I would pop in, I'd be like, "Wah, I'm still here." But yeah, we're good. Hi, Wolfie. Making dinner? What was dinner? What was dinner? This is a health check. Actually, you know what? It's terribly late, but late is better than never. I did not take my meds today because I was sleeping all freaking day. You made it! Hi, Horseman. Welcome in. Speaking of meds, there you go. Emote only mode for 2 minutes. VIPs and I think subs are immune from it. I'm not sure. Turkey burgers and cauliflower wings. That actually, like, I know that sounds like healthy, but that sounds good healthy. I need to hydrate. I know I have my, this is tea. This is tea. It's dragon fruit tea. Okay. Holding a book for a child. Just remember this. Okay. You have no reaction?
Something must move you.
Cauliflower wings.
You're as
First of all, I love
genetically broken as you can
cauliflower.
get.
I see
I
suffering,
love
the
cauliflower
dead,
and like melted
I think
cheese.
Weak. I'm supposed
But
to
I
be
just love
strong.
straight cauliflower.
My guts were grown from thousands more worthy.
Make sure you're taking. I am. My mom and I ordered lots of food and
I don't know why O'Keefe started
all that
teaching.
stuff. Wait, why is emo? Is this not?
When he turned on the tank the first time, I screamed.
Oh,
Weak.
apparently my
Pitiful.
emote only button does not work anymore. I'll have to redo that.
So you started small, but you became what you are. Not everyone gets that chance.
Because I was
built
like,
for
how are
strength,
people
but
talking?
didn't earn it.
But
just
apparently the button
am.
doesn't work.
Those
So,
dead were strong enough
Yaga,
to
can you
try, even if they
refund
lost.
the emote
Perfect
spam
broken, ignoring what made me.
or turn emote
Strengthen
only
that.
on for 2
I'll
minutes?
take another look at what happened to the Krogan.
Whichever
Find
one.
a reason to care about it.
Because I don't know why button doesn't work. I'm sure there's tons of stuff I'm gonna find throughout stream that doesn't work. That worked! Thank you. Okay. So this floor is done. We spoke to them. None of them have missions for me. Missions for me? There we go. 2 minutes. Emote only. In a stretch. Alright, so we talked to Jack. She doesn't want to talk to me. Well, she talked to me a little bit. We talked to Grunt. And we talked to Zaid. Zaid doesn't want to talk to me. Okay. Miranda, Garrus, and Kasumi. Great. Alright. I had to go into mod mode because I forgot. Oops. Oopsies. Oopsie doodle. Alright. Boo quotas. Boo quotas. Wait, nobody's in there. I forgot Miranda has her own office. Because she's cool. Your third monitor? Let's go. Sure he's even out here. You just can't set it up? Why? Oh, he is here. He popped the set out. No pole. No shaft. Good boy. Gotta wait to buy an arm for it.
Hey,
They're not
got a
expensive.
minute?
I want to get a different one for this one. This one's too tall.
Mess Sergeant Gardner might just be an evil genius.
Did you say got a
Emphasis
minute?
on the evil. People think he's a bad cook on purpose, like he's trying to teach them a lesson. I think his ramen is okay, but it's really hard to ruin ramen. I'm not really sure what to do with
Okay,
myself.
so she said you got a
Not
minute,
much call
and
for
then
thievery aboard a ship.
she won't talk to me. Cool. Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
So tell me now, what do you think?
I want revenge. No. We have to save humanity.
Everyone's depending on us. We won't let them down.
You can probably
They just don't make
turn
them like you anymore, Shep.
emo
Well,
off.
promise me we'll share a
now.
bottle every year. The next one is on
I think
me.
it's been 2 minutes. Because they don't say anything. Hi, Zarl. Very good to see you. Welcome in. And had 37k points. You probably got rated over a lot for Dirge. My internet is back. Hi, Zarl. Yeah, Shorty. Yeah, you probably like left Dirge's stream up and he probably rated me a lot. That's funny.
Access to the AI core is
Hi,
restricted.
Tatiana. Welcome in. How was your weekend? How was everyone's week? It's literally been
Weren't
a
you
week
originally
because
stationed on Horizon?
Yes.
I streamed
I
on
had joint
Sunday
servers,
and
I'd
then
be stuck
Monday
with
and
that
Wednesday
right now.
I had work
Wow.
and then I had no internet, so it's been a week.
Shepard,
How
I
was
find
everyone's
myself
week?
in the unpleasant position of asking for your help.
Ocarina of Time.
I
Oh my
don't like
gosh,
discussing personal matters.
it's about that time
This is important.
for us to replay Ocarina of Time. We play it once a year. We play it once a year. Trav was home, so I was off the internet until he left. Honestly, I didn't want to like be a brat, but I also was like, yo, Yaga literally hasn't like even like messaged me like to see if I'm alive during the hurricane. I just know there's a pitch adjustment controls, so you're not limited to the A. Are you talking about for the ocarina? Yeah, yeah, you can do it with the joystick. That's cool. Well, is that what you're talking about, the joystick? Because yeah, you can do it with the joystick. So I knew you're okay. Okay. Okay, because I was like, damn, like not even fucking nothing. And Xehanort, yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah, I figured that out when I was a kid because I used to like, yeah, well, first of all, if you remember back in the day, the N64 controller was my first experience with an analog joystick. And, which was a Wednesday, when somebody says back in the day, it's always a Wednesday. That was my first experience with an analog joystick. And the N64 controller was the left. So it was my left thumb that had to control. And it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. But N64 was my first experience with that. And yeah, I used to like do things all the time to try to like train my thumb to like be able to go in circles and to be able to like go like I used to do things all the time because I was like, this, like, I have to be able to control things with my left finger. Like, this is so stupid. So that's what I would do, like, play the ocarina and I would just, like, go like this. Like, I would just, like, go in circles with it, yeah. I know, it's stupid. I'm just, like, going like this. But yeah. Yeah, I used to play the ocarina and just, like, go in circles with the joystick, trying to just, like, yeah, train my thumb. Train my thumb. Funny story. So here, I'll even show you on my my now broken Joy-Con that I had to replace and spend $80 on a brand new. Look, the buttons won't push. The buttons won't push. They're like, I must have like spilled something on them when they're like on my desk or something. The buttons won't push. Anyway, so when you played N64, it was left-handed. It was a left-handed joystick. And there was one part in particular. It was when you were getting the megaton hammer in the fire temple. And you have to, it's a semicircle, and it goes like, it's like a crescent moon semicircle. And you step on the little pressure plate, and then you have to run up the semicircle, and you have to get to the treasure chest while the fire is down, right? And I couldn't do it fast enough because I couldn't control with my left finger. And for months and months and months, right? For months, I was like so frustrated, and I would try this, and I would play for a couple hours, and I would keep falling, whatever. And then one time, I went to a family parody. I went to say gathering, and then I changed it, and I said party, so I said parrot. I don't even know what word just came out. I went to a family gathering / party, and my cousin was playing Fire Temple, and he literally went, "Watch this." And then he used his fucking right hand and walked his ass up the thing. Like, he literally just went like this. And I was like, you motherfucker. I didn't say motherfucker. I was like 13. But I thought motherfucker because I was like, there's no shot right now that he literally just like was like, watch this. And he just like uses it like a little joystick. I was so agitated. But you bet I went home and I did it immediately afterwards. Immediately after that. Baba Yaga witch's bones turned to jelly at the thought of a whoring party. Wow. Wow. I have to go back and read chat because I was telling my story. I'm sorry. Take ibuprofen, your whole body is sore. What did you do this weekend, Tori? Make sure I caught everything. Horseman making faces. Hi, Magruder. Welcome in. How are you? I miss my N64. I do too, but luckily for me, personally for me, the majority of the games that I liked to play on the N64 are on the virtual console. Virtual console. 3 shall be the number thou shalt count, and the number of the counting shall be 3. 4 thou shalt not count, neither count thou 2, excepting that thou proceed to 3. 5 is right out. I can read, but my brain just could not read that.
Miranda, you're one of my crew. Tell me what's on your mind.
A stretch and a push.
You remember what I told you about father? Building a dynasty? There was another reason I went to Cerberus for protection.
Frosty's cursed. You have to put that one in you have to put that one in the Discord, in the Frosty
Discord.
Discord.
He's still hunting her.
Oh.
Cerberus has kept her safe.
A twin,
now.
She says.
She's living a normal life on Ilium, safe and hidden from my father.
Not anymore.
So you think your father's tracked her down?
Precisely, Commander. My sources indicate he knows that she's on Ilium. I've tried to keep her hidden without impacting her life, but I'm out of options. He's too close.
Why do I feel like I'm lagging
I need to
a little
relocate my sister's family before it's too late.
Ooh, the Walmart near me has graphics cards. I might save up for one.
What do you know about your sister?
Antiquated word,
She's
they
my
are.
Genetic twin. We're identical, but she deserves a normal life, and she's going to get it no matter what.
Does she like girls? Because apparently nobody on this ship likes girls.
What do you need me to do?
My father is extremely persistent. I'd like to go to Ilium when Cerberus is moving the family to make sure none of his agents get too close. My contact's name is Lantea. She'll be waiting for us in the lounge near the Nos Astra docking bay.
So, is that also Ilium? Yes, helium. Helium what, croissant? Helium salad croissant. Helium salad croissant. Okay, did I talk to everybody here? No, Garrus is here. Where's Garrus? Where's Garrus? That's... Is he over here? Is he in port observation? No. Starboard is locked. He's doing calibrations. I know. He probably won't talk to me anyway. He's in the center. Oh, down here. I wish it showed. Like, I wish it... Oh my gosh, what is this lag? I wish it showed NPCs.
Need me for something?
Just want to talk.
Have you got a minute?
Can it wait for a bit? I'm in
Shut up.
some calibrations.
Upgrade
Have you
my
got
shit.
any upgrade ideas for the Normandy's weapon systems?
A few, yeah. Here, take a look.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for my upgrades. So is nobody gonna talk to me? Like, should I even bother? Because the only other I have Kanye and Morden, but I don't care about Kanye, so we're not talking to him anyway. Morden's a psycho murderer, so...
Jacob wants to speak with you.
Oh, does he? Oh, does he? Jacob wants to speak to you, Commander. Oh, does he now? I love how I'm literally like, I don't care about
How can I help?
Kanye.
Have you got a minute to talk?
Perhaps later.
Oh
Trying
my
to. Anything
god.
else?
Any ideas on
Ideas,
other
yes.
ways?
Expensive.
Why? Why is nobody talkies? The Taskbot run of Ocarina? From GDQ. I have not. Wait, isn't that like, okay, never mind. Explain. I was gonna say, is Taskbot like the Twitch plays? But I don't think so. So what is Taskbot? They program it to input very precise. Oh, so like you can build speed run. That's what I'm saying. So you can literally be like down to like the millisecond. That's crazy. What's the record for Taskbot for? Well, first of all, do they do like 100%? I have seen a fish beat Elden Ring. Didn't I send that to you? Point Crow did that. Point Crow's fish has beaten a whole bunch of games. I thought I sent that to you. On Twitter. I want so badly to be able to speedrun Elden Ring. Like, it's like it's an absolutely impossible goal of mine. And like, I get so frustrated. Like, I'm stuck on a boss right now, and he's so aggressive, and he's so like punishing, like space-wise, that I literally the other night my eyes were like misting up because I'm like, this boss has to be so frame perfect dodging. And I'm like, I don't have this skill. And the fact that people can do this hitless on level 1 with no upgrades, like, I'm like, there's no point in even trying. There's no point in even trying to complain about a boss being unfair when people can do it without even being hit. I'm like, this is terrible. There's no way on this Minecraft realm that we call Earth, there's just no fucking way that I could ever fucking speedrun Elden Ring. Like, it just can't happen. Took it to 25 people and 2 in some years. Presented initially as a beta showcase, showing off content that was left on the Ocarina of Time cartridge. Doesn't appear in the finished game, but it goes more slightly off the rails. So you didn't say, so what is the record? So what was the time? All right, it's damage protection. I can't, okay. Why not? about an hour. See, that's like... Not to be like that guy, but that's not any more impressive, I feel, than like the regular speed run for that. Like the human being speed run, I think, is about an hour, give or take some change. All right, so they said Jacob wants to talk to me, but I really don't care. Holy crap. 14. What do you, so what, how, okay. So how do you even do an any percent run? Because doesn't that, like, don't you have to beat Ganon? Like, isn't that the technical end of the game is beating Ganon? How do you do it in 14, how do you do it in 4 minutes? Figures out a way to, that's, ugh, I like glitchless. If I were to ever, which probably, like I said, it's impossible because I can't even beat a boss, like, trying 100 million times. I would do glitchless. I just personally think finding a glitch and just teleporting to the end of the game is, you didn't do anything.
Jacob wants to speak with you, Commander.
Yeah, the Tatchbot. Yeah. The Tatchbot one, I'm definitely curious about. Did you say Joker wants to speak to me? No, she said Jacob. I think she said Jacob. Okay, I don't care about Jacob. Yeah, I'm definitely curious what this bot can do. But I'd be more inclined to see, where are we? I need to get to a mass relay. Here it is. I'd be more inclined to see like a 100%, like non-glitch, like glitchless taskbot run, you know. Okay, so Crescent Nebula, here we go. You make my own glitches on accident, I know. You really do, though. Thank you. I don't need any. Okay, cool. Alright, so I can go all 3. Can I? Oh, I can't. Okay, I was gonna farm it for resources, but apparently you can't. Like everything Taskbot can do in Celeste, if you're on water on the ground, you can dash. Every single frame. Celeste is another one that I'm like, I would like to do that, but I just don't think I would be good. $2 points. Guess what? I still can't do anything with 2 points. I can't do anything with 1 point, and I can't do anything. Okay, I can't do anything. Cool. Thank you so much. I don't think... A shotgun. Okay, I don't know. I don't like not being able to like see my like damage and stuff. Damage and rate of fire and my some cleaning. I cleaned this weekend while I couldn't do anything else. Enjoy your cleaning adventure.
Welcome to Nosastra, Commander Shepard. We've been instructed to waive all docking and administration fees for your visit. My name is Karina. If you need information about the area, it would be my pleasure to assist you.
Why do I get a free
Who
pass?
instructed you to waive the fees?
The order came from Liara Tassoni, who paid all fees on your behalf.
Liara Arbe from
She
the last.
also
Oh, I
asked
like
that
her
I direct you to
outfit.
speak with her at your convenience. She's near
Again,
the
it's the
floor.
same top though.
You said Liara was here? What is she doing?
Liara is one of Nosastra's most respected information brokers.
Oh.
Nosastra is based upon trade. Information is valuable currency, and Liara has done quite well. As I said, you'll find her near the trading floor. She was looking forward to seeing you.
You mentioned trading. What gets traded on Ilium?
Anything you can imagine, Commander. Ilium is a wonderful world for those who can afford it. In order to remain competitive as a Terminus systems port, we've relaxed many of the standards you'd find on other Asari worlds. Most drugs are legal, provided they are labeled properly. You can buy almost any weapon or technology. You can even buy indentured servants.
That's slaves?
I can't believe an Asari world would allow slavery.
We try to avoid calling it slavery. All indentured servants on Ilium have voluntarily agreed to a term of service. Most choose indentured service as a means to pay off debt or avoid imprisonment. A contract holder is responsible for the well-being of her servants, and a servant's duties are agreed upon before the contract is signed.
What can you tell me about Nosastra?
It's an exciting city. We see a lot of new cultures and goods because of our proximity to the Terminus systems.
By the way.
At the same time, Ilium is still an Asari world. You should be as safe here as you would be on the Citadel. For your own safety, however, I recommend against signing anything.
What's so dangerous about signing something?
Ilium is a free trade world, Commander. Contract term
Can Got
requirements
suck
are
an
more
egg?
relaxed
Got
here than on other
sucked by an
planets.
egg?
It's a small price to pay for keeping our competitive edge in goods from the Terminus systems.
I'm on a mission. Can you help me find someone?
I can help you find major entertainment centers or stores, but I'm afraid I can't point you to individual people. Liara is excellent at that type of work, however. I imagine she can help you.
Alright, fine.
Thank you.
I'll fuck
Again,
up.
welcome to our city, Commander. Please enjoy your stay.
Please enjoy your stay.
Customs records indicated Justicar named Samara is visiting.
Justicar?
Your former teammate.
Ew. I don't like Justicar. I like Justiciar, like in Baldur's Gate.
You may wish to speak with her regarding the whereabouts of Thane Krios, the assassin on your dossier, as well.
Comes from a Dutch word for specter. Well, you can tell that to everybody on Twitter, and I'm not risking it.
No, you're not hearing me.
Spoopy, I think, is
Holy
fine.
crap. Shepard? The news said you were dead. What happened? No, wait, probably classified. Forget I asked. You just have to lie. It's been a couple of years. I'm Gianna Parasini, Novaria Internal Affairs. You
I don't think
helped me nail
anybody of any
Administrator
importance is
Analeus.
watching my stream, so like I can say spooky, but I'm not gonna like tweet about it and shit. People are fucking ravenous.
Happy to help. What happened to Administrator Analeus?
Funny thing is I
one
say
mistake
spoopy,
Novaria
like
won't tolerate.
Spoopy
He
like
got caught taking
comes
them.
out
He's doing
more
a few years
normally.
in white-collar prison. More importantly, he won't work in the field again. Sit down. If I remember right, I owe you a beer.
Oh, thanks. Don't poison it though.
What brings you to Ilium? You know, that you can talk about.
You ever heard of the Collectors?
It's also not a
They're
legit
attacking human
complaint.
colonies. I'm gonna stop them.
Damn, Shepard. For
Listen,
me, a tough
I'm
job
just
involves
saying-
more paperwork.
People are fucking ravenous on the internet to cancel people for the stupidest stuff, so
Hey, listen, I just remembered something.
I just said I'm not
gotta
gonna
go.
tweet it
Talk to
or
you
put it
later?
in any sort
And
of
don't forget to drink your beer.
social media posts or whatever. The last time you talk her into showing you good stuff. Okay.
I'm looking for the best tech upgrades you have.
Hell yeah. There are actual issues in the world. People getting hung up on getting mad about a world when they don't know the actual origin of said word. No, I'm just, I agree. I agree, Yaga. I also think it's incredibly dumb, but like I said, I'm not I'm not willing to risk everything that I've built in the last 4 years because someone on the internet doesn't like a word and wants to, you know, destroy my livelihood for it.
Of course, I can help you with a consult and figure out what options work for you.
And honestly, it's pretty scary out there on the internet, so I just would rather not.
A source reports that the attack on the human colony of Freedom's Progress is being investigated as a possible terrorist attack by dissidents from former council races.
Oh, okay.
While no formal statement has been issued,
I'm in a club of some sort.
information requests of a Solarian Special Tasks Group.
I still don't see why we're here. Solarians do not get married. My family simply negotiated a reproduction contract.
That's funny.
Whatever. It's the closest you guys get to a wedding, and that means you get a bachelor party. End of story.
See, I like this bodysuit, but I don't like that it's essentially like missing the entire vagina area. Like, I would actually really like this bodysuit if it wasn't a fucking cooch suit. A cooch suit. Can I drink here? Or are you gonna poison me?
Trinity. I'm Athena, Asari matriarch and bartender. What can I get you?
You're an Asari matriarch? I thought matriarchs served as honored advisors.
Right.
New form of censorship.
Which I do here at this bar.
For shame, maybe because
I
people
know.
perceive things to be
Not what you'd
problematic that aren't.
expect. But
People do
nobody
need
on
productive
Thessia wanted
hobbies,
to
you're not
listen
wrong.
to my wise counsel, so here I am. Dad was a Krogan who fought in the Rachni Wars. My mother fought in the Krogan rebellions.
I don't like that dress.
I've pretty much seen it all.
Looks like scales, and I don't like it.
Your mother fought in the Krogan rebellions?
I don't know whether she fought. She scouted, sniped a few people, and blew up a couple of space stations. You know, commando stuff. She'd put the old commando
Thinking
leathers
of
on
French,
for
never
special
stop.
nights with Dad. Goddess, that was embarrassing.
This is, you did this to yourself. You going on the internet shouldn't be going on the internet.
What's it like
Just stay
living
off
for
the
nearly
internet.
1,000
Goodbye.
years?
Violent. Wars break out. Colonies get destroyed. Sometimes you hear good news, like that colony on Pharaoh surviving. That's the exception, though. You'll
Ooh,
find
Yaga.
peace in whatever
Do
arms
you
will hold
remember?
Turian, Elcor, Hanar.
I sent it.
You
Yeah, I
had a
do send you.
pure-blood daughter.
Remember a few weeks
I
ago?
was the father.
I sent you a
Didn't work
picture
out.
of a
And one
Switch
day you wake up,
Switch controller that was
figure's
Sailor
gotten
Moon.
matriarchal, and everyone
And I
else
was
is
like,
too young
damn,
to
shit
remember
always
how the
like ends up
Quarians
going on
looked
sale
inside
when I
their
like don't
suits.
fucking have the money for it. Well, guess what was on sale again? And guess who got paid this weekend? Well, she had absolutely nothing to do.
Why is a
Oh
matriarch
shit!
gonna buy
Oh
drinks?
shit!
Better than what most other matriarchs are doing.
Yeah.
Look at that screw up with
So,
Saren and his Geth a few
I
years
had to
back.
replace these, and
All
I can't
that
get these
Asari
off.
Wisdom got the Destiny
I don't know how to
Ascension
get these
blown to
off,
hell,
but I
and now you
can't.
humans are in charge.
I put
And
these
warned
like
him,
gems,
Told people on Thessia what was coming. and
gem
they didn't wanna hear
covers,
it.
and I can't fucking get them off. I cannot get them off to put them on my new ones.
What didn't they want to hear?
That art and philosophy.
Burn them
and
off? Well, no,
political
because I want to
prowess
use
wasn't
them.
gonna
I want to
cut
put them onto my
we
new
can't go a
ones.
single Asari lifetime without some big war breaking out. We need to get our daughters working earlier, not spending their wild
I might
maiden
just have
years
to buy
stripping
new
or in
ones.
merc bands. When I started talking about making new mass
Also,
relays ourselves,
I'm
they
sorry that I'm
laughed
like
and blew
moving
up
and
my
fidgeting a
ass.
lot. I
So
literally
now
spent the last 3
I
days in
serve
bed. My back
drinks.
kind of is like, my back's a little jacked.
What's it like living for nearly 1,000 years?
Violent. Wars break
I don't
out.
like this dress.
Colonies
it
get
looks like,
destroyed.
it looks
Sometimes you hear
like that
good
looks like
news
weird
that colony on
buckles.
Pharaoh surviving.
And then she's got like
That's the exception,
scales
though.
and like buckles.
You'll
I don't
find
like it.
peace
I don't like
in
this
whatever
dress.
arms will hold you.
Not a fan of this
Turian,
one.
Elcor, Hanar, even had a pureblood daughter. I was the father. Didn't work out. And one
Excuse
day
me?
you wake up, your figure's gotten matriarchal, and everyone else is too young to remember how the Quarians looked inside those suits.
Okay, so I did hear that right. Okay. Okay.
Thanks for telling me
Go,
about
which bad self?
That's what I'm here for, babe. Get you anything else?
No,
Just
I
looking
won't
around.
drink at any of these
Right.
bars ever
Don't
again.
eat the nuts in the Red Bowls. They're for Turians and Quarians. You'll get cramps.
You'll get cramps. She fucking hates her job and her life. I know, you told me that last game, but I just thought it was very funny. It's just, she said it so nonchalant. She's just like, I was father.
We'll figure something out. It's okay. I'll think of something.
Was that?
You said Synthetic Insights would
Oh.
buy me.
I think
You said it
every,
was an
I'm like
easy
a little
sale.
racist. I think every
assumed
Quarian
they
is
would
Tali.
want AI tech. Hello, can I help you with something?
This is basis a little bit. I think every Quarian is Tali.
Have you made this
Oh, no.
Quarian your slave?
We prefer the term indentured servant.
I meant to do the one above it.
Before you do anything hasty, know that this Quarian signed the agreement voluntarily, and her servitude contract is completely legal on Ilium. If you actually want to help the Quarian, convince the Synthetic Insights representative to purchase her contract.
Oh, okay, I can do that. What if I bought her? I have money.
What if I bought her myself? I could let her go and everyone would be happy.
A gallant offer with 3 problems. First, her technical skill merits a contract of several $100,000.
Are you saying that I'm poor?
There's also a fee for freeing me before my service period ends.
Exactly. And finally, you are clearly a traveler. Her service contract requires that she remain on Ilium.
I don't want them to take me off to a mine somewhere.
Why did this Quarian sign herself into slavery?
She's a new
Tried to
outfit.
play the stock market. I'm good with numbers, and I thought I had a way to make unlimited money.
I don't know if I'll put Tali back on my team though.
Then
I like how we have
got a credit
fucking
line and
Cooch,
lost that.
fucking the
Then
Cooch
took out an
suit in the
illegal
background.
loan. You get the picture.
As part of our agreement, I paid off her debts. 5 years from now, she'll
Because
have
we
a
have
fresh
Jack
start
and
excellent work references.
Kasumi now.
If slavery's legal, then
Cooch
why are you trying to
Magooch?
sell
I
the
know.
Quarian?
I don't keep service contracts myself. I'm a contract broker. I assumed Synthetic Insights would jump at the chance for a skilled AI tech, but they won't even make me an offer.
So hold on to her.
So slavery is legal on Ilium.
Indentured servitude lasts a set amount of time or until agreed upon conditions are met.
I like how everyone just
Ilium
keeps trying to
must
call it
approve all
something different.
contracts. The law limits what restraint or corrective options I can use and what tasks I can legally assign her. I'm also legally responsible for her behavior and health. Abuse is absolutely forbidden.
Alright, I'll help.
I'll talk to the Synthetic Insights rep and see what I can do.
Really? Thank you. I'd appreciate that.
Can I get different armor yet? Like, I feel like I haven't had other armor yet.
Can I help you with something?
Would you like a Quarian?
How'd you like to get your hands on an expert Quarian AI programmer?
If you'd like to submit a resume, Wait. Is this that slave? Synthetic Insights has no interest in purchasing slave labor. We're under enough scrutiny from the Citadel without engaging in practices the Council disapproves of. To be frank, we're hardly hiring anyone. The Geth attack on the Citadel didn't
Why does she
engender
look
much
funny?
love for artificial intelligence.
She looks weird. Why does she look different? What is
Sounds
it
like
different about her
Synthetic
that
Insights is
looks
worried
weird?
about its reputation. Hiring
Just-
this Quarian would
she has
help.
like no
Buying a
paint, and so
slave
like it looks
helps
like she
our
has like no
reputation.
eyebrows.
How exactly do you figure?
Purchase the contract minus the fee for early emancipation, then free the Quarian and garnish wages for reimbursement.
Interesting.
Just made up all those
We look good
words.
for hiring a Quarian, and we can say that we freed slaves out of the goodness of our hearts. All right, I'll run up a contract. The board might wet its pants, but we could use the good publicity. This Quarian had better be good, though.
So slavery with perks. Yep. Hello.
Synthetic Insights just sent over the contract. I cannot thank you enough.
I'm happy to help.
Here, for your trouble. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll get this service contract transferred.
Thank you. I'll stay out of trouble this time.
You better. Not Tali. Oh wow. Oh, wait, did I go here already? Eternity. Wait, I think I was already in here. Yeah. Yeah. Tali and not Tali. Exactly.
So then he said,
Exactly.
oh, it's okay.
Who is Lantea?
Excuse me, I'm waiting for someone.
I kind of like your suit.
Excuse me, I'm waiting for someone. Excuse me, I'm waiting for someone.
It's me, you're waiting for me.
You deserve somebody who respects you. Somebody who's going to treat you right.
I know, I'm just being Okay, so we've got Pooch
I don't
Bagooch.
understand.
We've
Humans
got
celebrate wedding contracts by tempting
no,
infidelity?
Jack, by the way.
Makes no sense.
Nobody here. Here. That bitch is waiting. Don't embarrass me in front of the stripper.
After work, we could catch a vid or something.
Oh, that's
Oh, she's pink.
I'm okay.
Or is it
A
just a
little dry
color?
spell isn't gonna kill me.
We could watch.
Is it just a light, or is she pink?
It got awards
Is
for
she pink?
portrayal of Turian and Quarian relationships.
Anyway, if worst
Anyway.
comes to worst, I did have the nerve stimulation program built into my suit.
And I hear that the love scenes are.
Oh yeah, standard equipment for any responsible adult. Oh here, let me fire it up. Excuse me, human. Private conversation.
I'm over here.
Little space, please.
Yeah, we're in space. Space is everywhere. There's so much space. All right. Let's go. This place is set up really stupid. I'm just gonna say. Hello, merchant.
Welcome. You look like someone who needs high quality equipment. Feel free to look around. My store has
I
the
think I
best
spent all my
tech
money,
and
though.
biotic equipment on Ilium.
I'm a big
Is
spender.
everything here so expensive? I'd planned to drop a lot of credits today.
Really?
I'm outfitting
Ark,
a team for a dangerous
thank you so
mission.
much.
I need the best, and I'm willing to pay for it, as long as you work with me.
Well, perhaps I could give you a preferred rate at the kiosk. Here.
There
small
are no
discount,
hurricanes in
and when I get
space.
special
Actually,
items in, you can take a look.
is that scientifically accurate? Ark, thank you so much. 28 months. I appreciate you so much. Crazy. Yes? Well, I know they have like storms.
What kind of special items are we talking about?
Oh, you know, schematics, designs. Nothing illegal, but
Ark, how
I
was
may
your
not have all the
week?
licenses to
Because
sell
it's
them.
literally been a week.
Do you have anything else?
Solar hurricanes?
Anything not listed on your main merchandise kiosk?
Hurricanes are very specific. They are not in space. I guess that's true. Hurricanes are like water,
That's because
pressure
it's still
and
in
water.
development on
Pressure
Bavaria,
and water. I'm
illegal
so
for
smart.
export. Hello, Hermia.
High pressure systems
set me up.
traveling over
But
water
this isn't
usually
Bavaria.
cause hurricanes.
You don't have the authority to arrest me.
I don't care whether you go to jail.
Water and
I've got all
pressure
the
is a
evidence I need
hurricane.
to find you out of business.
There are space hurricanes? Yeah, because isn't like isn't one of them like that happened in 2021? You consider Jupiter to be in space and there's a great red spot, but Jupiter is only in space as much as Earth is. There are solar storms. See? Exactly. There are hurricanes in space. Earth is in space. There's hurricanes in space. Boom, roasted. Boom, roasted.
Do you have the authority to seize the schematics she's trying to sell?
I don't have to. Hermia was under suspicion. We leaked a faulty device to her. All this thing will ever do is
There
blow
are
up in your
storms
face.
in space. There are storms
I
in
need to
space.
go. I have to talk to my
How
lawyer.
was TwitchCon? Since I didn't have internet yesterday, Ark.
Talk fast, Hermia. When the fines hit, you won't be able to afford them.
Hurricanes? Hurricanes and hurricanes.
That was good. I've got to go file a few papers. Come by my table when you've got a minute.
Googling? Not all storms are hurricanes. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Sorry, I feel like my hair is like I need a trim, so it's like super dry on the end, and I keep like touching it. Sorry. I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. The whole thing started with me just like kind of being silly and like
Excuse
just
me.
being
Excuse me,
silly
are
and
you shorting prefabs?
hello?
You're Commander Shepard.
They put
I saw
meetup
your-
areas right next to the
I guess you would say
permanent
your
dance
aura.
floor. Ew.
I'd recognize you anywhere. I was asked to give you a message if I saw you. It's from a friend you made on Novaria.
Who the fuck's that?
I met a lot of people on Novaria. Could you be more specific?
I believe the message itself should make it clear.
You gonna kiss me?
Shepard,
oh.
We hide. We borrow. We build. But we know that you seek those who soured the songs of our mothers.
I like got
When
so
the time
scared.
comes, our voice will join with yours, and our crescendo will burn.
No, I
the
was not
darkness
excited. I was
clean.
scared.
Thank you, Shepard. The Rachni will sing again.
I don't want somebody else to fall in love with me, man. Hi, at night. Just been less ever speedrunning. Oh, work. I need to hand it tomorrow. Oh, good night. Good night. Good night. Good night, DJ. The content was good though. I have changes I need to figure out how to make. Ooh. You have some ideas? Are you gonna share? Are you gonna share your success? Your keys to success? Will you let me be on your stream team when you become partner? The Rachni. Are you on Ilium?
I'm glad to hear that you're rebuilding. Are you somewhere close by?
The Rachni Queen is not here. That message is one of many memories I carry from her. I encountered her on an uncharted
You have to
world.
succeed first. That's what I'm saying. You have to. Are you gonna share your
More than that,
your
she gave me a
success
purpose.
tips?
They are an amazing people, Shepard. The galaxy owes you a great debt for giving them a second chance.
The worst part is I genuinely like ask Yaga. There are so many times where I'm like, I have to stream. Like I have to stream because I can't like. I need to be on some sort of schedule. Like I'm never gonna get anywhere if I don't stream. Like I need to be like every time I try to set a schedule, the whole world or my body or a natural disaster, something is always like no. And I just I need the keys. I need the keys to success because I don't know what the fuck else to do. Thanks for the message. Okay, so somebody actually remind me because I don't. It's been so long. I spared the Rachni Queen in the first game, I believe. Okay. I just I couldn't remember. I was like, I don't remember what I did with her. I'm pretty sure I spared her. Okay.
How did you find the Rachni?
Then you got internet
I was
and watching
working
this
as
is
a
priority.
courier. Pirates ambushed my ship, and I was forced down.
Yeah,
on
but
an
she said it was a
uncharted planet.
memory.
I was badly injured, alone, and near death.
That's
Then
why I was
they found me.
confused.
They saved me.
You obviously got off world again. Did the Rachni give you a ship?
No. Countless workers repaired my ship. It runs better now than it did before. They remind me of the Keepers on the Citadel in a way. All working together, each with a purpose.
The
What happened to
pirates?
the pirates who attacked you?
They were
You
obliterated.
can still stream
as they
if
should
you want
have
to
been.
stream.
The Rachni are not aggressive, but they do what they must.
You said the Queen
No,
gave you a
okay.
purpose. What do you mean?
The Queen shared
Yeah, how
her
long is
song
6
with
gonna
me
take?
As I recovered.
Because I don't want to stream
I
6,
saw the Rachni
but I will
as
play it
only
with
an
you.
Asari could. They are so beautiful and so vulnerable. They needed someone to purchase things they cannot make themselves. Someone to work within the system. An agent, if you will.
Heard very- okay.
I am happy to help.
We'll have
My
to
life
look
as
on
a courier was empty and shallow.
how long to beat
Now
that
I'm helping
and
a
see what
great
they all say.
race rebuild itself.
You were really comfortable walking away from your old life?
You're concerned that the Queen is controlling me. I understand, but it doesn't work like that.
Think
Our
of your
minds were in
stream.
perfect
Elements of your stream
harmony.
as either
I
foundational,
saw their
additive, or
beautiful spirit and their
distractions.
need. I knew what I had to do.
Yeah,
If some
I've thought
part of
about
was
that. I feel like
suggestion,
there's a
then
lot of
it
shit
was a
that's
side effect
distracting,
from
but
their efforts to save my life.
people like them.
I am happy.
Thank you for giving me that information. I'm glad my friend on Noveria is doing well.
Be well, Commander Shepard. You will not see me again.
So, Ark, let's chat for a minute. Like, you can use anybody for an example. You don't have to like actually name them, but like, what are things that qualify in those? So, like, foundational. Foundational would be the gameplay. If you're a game streamer, obviously, and probably like the camera if you have a camera reaction, right? So the foundation is to be like your mic, your sound, your gameplay, your camera, or your avatar if you have an avatar. Additive would be alerts. And then like distractions would be like little moving shit all over the screen that comes up. Like I've seen people who have like actual like animations that just like sit on their screen. I would even say that like half of my channel point distractions are channel point redemptions are distractions. That's really interesting to think about. I feel like I have the bare minimum. Like I feel like I try to leave mine nice and clean. But then I see people who have like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I've seen people who I'm like, this is actually annoying to watch. Like physically on the screen, I am not enjoying like everything that's going on. And they'll have views, and I'm just like, oh.
Do you have anything flashier?
Okay.
I want something that says,
Where?
I own this room. I own you.
I don't know where else to go. Shipping.
Does living at a higher altitude make you more intelligent?
Channel points are borderline. They can be distracting. You've got random codes that pop up. Yeah, I do feel like my bot can be distracting, but I do have it set to like only go off after so many messages have happened in chat, so it's not like I won't sit there with like a stream that's just my bot.
With my mind. Shepard, Nixeris, hold my calls.
I spent too much time here.
Shepard.
Who are you? Is Arl? Lazaro? Izari?
Said you were alive.
Hi, hello, welcome in.
I never believed. It's very good to see you.
Liara Tassoni, hello.
You have sources now?
I Sarl.
Sources, contacts.
I
even a
Sarl.
little hired muscle. I've been working as an information broker. It
So
paid the
I can make a
bills
bunch of graphics and yes, please. I won't pay you for it. So you'll have to tweet about me later. But yes, you can make it for me. Just go ahead and put it into your little AI bot. Have you guys seen those? Have you guys seen those graphic design like things where like they actually like it's like just a logo, but it's like put into like a program? They're so bad. I've never been in your stream before, but I feel comfortable starting out by telling you how lacking your branding is, and I'm just the person to fix it. Oh my god, where's my phone? I think I took a screenshot of it. I hope I took a screenshot of it. I got an email. So I get emails from like video editors or like I get emails all the time from people claiming to like be able to help me, right? And I got one the other day. I really hope I took a picture of it. And it was like the subject line of the email was so aggressive. Like it literally was like, fix your YouTube channel now, with like an exclamation point. And I was just like, holy shit. Oh, did I not? I thought I took a screenshot of it. I really thought I took a screenshot of it. but it was like so aggressive. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I know, sorry. I moved it. Yaga literally texted me on my phone. Alright, I think it's still in my email. That's so funny. It was the only way. I know, I'm sorry. I got so just like engulfed. Oh, it's gotta be too far. Okay, it's too far. But yeah, like it was like very aggressive. It was like very aggressive. Like it was like, fix it now. Hi, I represent a company that would love for you to test and endorse our product. Have you ever heard of Teledildonics? We just need a few tasteful pics of you using our product.
If you know that, then you know that I could use your help.
I can't, Shepard.
Why
I'm
is she so
sorry.
light now?
I have commitments here, things I need to take care of.
Should have called me. That would have been really funny.
What kind of things do you need to take care of?
Wait,
Are
what?
you in trouble?
No trouble. But it's been a long 2 years. I had things to do while you were gone. I have debts to repay. Listen, if you want,
You can just ask Asari why they're so light.
Expertise.
No, I mean
Someone
like
can trust.
compared to the last game.
If you
What
could
was the
disable
name of
security at key points
the
around
company?
Ilium, you could get me information I need.
Teledildonics.
That would help me a great deal.
Teledildonics. I don't even know how to say that. So, oh my gosh. I've been, since I've moved into my new office, which is like 6 dudes and like me and one other girl, I've gotten like brain rot. So like, we say like such stupid stuff. Like everything is like up your butt. And then like Yaga has obviously been the victim of it, but anytime anyone says like, oh, I can't do that, we'll always be like, oh, okay, because you hate me, thanks. So like, it's just like, I've gotten brain rot. So I ordered a long roll out, like, so you stick it to the wall. It's not like it's a whiteboard, but it's one that's like rolls out and you like stick it to the wall, like it adheres to the wall. So it came in a big, you know, like 6.5 foot tall tube, right? So I was carrying it into the office and one of the guys was like, what is that? And I was like, oh, my dildo got here. And then without even skipping a beat, one of the other guys goes, I hope it's for office use. like it's fucking brain rot. Like we're so stupid. Like, we're so stupid. It's so dumb.
What's this all about, Liara? Can't you just talk to me?
Oh, God.
Don't you think I want to, Shepard? This isn't because I don't trust. This is Ilium. Anything I say is probably being recorded.
The PPC, exactly. Peak poop content.
Hacking a terminal.
Sometimes it do be that way.
I don't know anyone else I can trust. Hacking the security node won't get you the data. It just creates a minor
Yeah,
glitch
so
in
if
the
I
system.
just like start
You'll
saying
have a
just
short time to find a
absolutely
local
stupid
server
brain
left
rot
vulnerable
shit,
by that glitch,
you
and
can thank
upload
the guys
data
in
to
my office.
system. I'm leaving my own system vulnerable so that the data can be imported during that short time.
They want so badly. So 4 of us play Minecraft together, which I know is crazy because I hate Minecraft, but it's so stupid. They're so stupid. They want to be on stream so bad. They want to be on stream so bad. And I was like, dude, like I will absolutely get banned from Twitch. You cannot be on my stream. You cannot be on my stream.
If it'll help you,
No,
I'll take
no,
care of
it's
it.
worse. Ark, it's worse now that I'm with these guys. I swear. Some stuff just comes out and I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Thank you, Shepard. This may help me pay a great debt.
There's an Asari named Samara here on Ilium. Do you know where I could find her?
Wait for the come up kids, right?
Yes. She arrived recently and registered with tracking officer Dara.
You should have heard what I said the other day. I should delete the VOD. Was it the day that I didn't watch? Because I watched the day after Wednesday. All about the uses. There aren't any uses for human meat, and it's boring.
Why would Samara?
I also want to finish that, but I feel like Fallout 4, like, I just hit my nail. Fallout 4 got like super hype when the show came out.
Sect of Asari warriors. Dara can tell you more.
Who's Dara?
There's an Asari named Samara here on Ilium.
I already did this.
Samara.
I already did
You
this.
can find Dara at the transportation hub.
Okay. Thane.
I'm looking for Thane Krios. He's supposed to be here on Ilium.
Don't touch your Shofingi.
Yes. He arrived here a few
It's
days
got a
ago.
Band-Aid on
My
it.
sources tell me he may be targeting a corporate executive, Nisana Dantius.
Daria? Oh my
Contacted
gosh, what a
woman
show.
named Serena. Serena has an office in the cargo
What
transfer
was that
levels.
panning for?
Perhaps she can tell you where Krios is.
You happen to just know that?
That was all just off the top of your head?
I'm a very good information broker, Shepard. The world of intrigue isn't that different from a dig site, except that the dead bodies still smell.
Wow, okay.
Thanks for the help. That's all I needed to know.
Of course. If there's anything else I can help you with, let me know.
I know you're looking for the Shadow Broker. Cerberus gave me data on where to find him. Interested?
Absolutely. I had no idea. Let me see what you've got.
I like the pink Asaris.
It looks like a leaked transmission between Shadow Broker operatives. Some hints as to the location and... It's about
What is
Farron.
that?
He's
What?
still alive.
Who's Farron?
I meant who, but I also meant what kind of alien.
He helped me
What
recover
is
your
that?
body from the Shadow Broker.
Why did the Shadow Broker want my corpse?
He was going to sell you to the collectors, but Farron and I stopped him. Farron sacrificed himself to save me.
So, you rescued me. Then how did I end up with Cerberus?
Well, they gave me intel to help recover you. They actually put Farron with me in the first place. After I got out, I gave you to them. They said they could bring you back.
Oh, Liara saved me.
You kept me out of the Collector's hands. Without you, I couldn't have come back. Thank you.
I didn't know how you'd feel when Cerberus restored you. If you'd feel betrayed, or... They brought you back. And now they're giving me a chance to find Farron. After 2 years, I hadn't even dreamed.
Who's that?
Sounds like you and Farron were close.
It's funny. He betrayed me more than once. He was double-dealing for Cerberus, for the Shadow Broker. But in the end, he sacrificed himself for me. I owe him.
Sure.
Any friend of yours is a friend of mine. What's the next step?
I don't know. I need to prepare, to think. I'm going home. Use my terminal if you need any local intel.
You okay?
I've spent 2 years plotting revenge. Now I have the chance to make it a rescue.
Let me help. I'll come by your apartment.
Okay. Hopefully I'll have a plan by then. Thank you, Shepard.
Am I... I was like, am I hacking her computer? I was like, why am I looking at her computer so long? Was a lighter purple? She looked very, very pink. Let's see if we can find one. Hi Ray, glad to hear your voice. Listen, I was going into a spiral. My hair looks great. Oh, thanks. I don't know why. Like, This is I've been sleeping for 2 days hair, but thank you. That's yours.
Commander, a pleasure to see you again. Can I
Was this
help
the
you with
same girl?
something?
Yeah, this is the same girl. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a pleasant visit to Nos Astra, Commander.
I would if I could find anything.
Nos Astra has recently received an unexpected visitor in the form of a rare Justicar calling herself Samara.
I don't like the word Justicar. It sounds like Justicar.
Towers, traffic, lights, and Asari everywhere you. I thought about living here for a while.
Spirals are no
but
fun.
everybody's
Yeah.
so tight-assed.
It was more just
It's
like
all about money to these
I had
people.
nothing to do
I
for
do what
3
I do.
days and I was
Love
just
it. These people do it because they
losing my
don't know
mind.
any better.
Okay. So, oh, hi Jack.
Lots of money here. Soft people who'd make good victim. This place is one bad day away from becoming Omega.
Craving a haunt brownie? That sounds good. It's too late. It's almost 10:30. There's not gonna be anything open for me to order from. This isn't cooking. Franklin, you missed it. It was so funny. Right as I went live, my my Duncan got here, so I went downstairs to grab it from the front door, and I must have woken my mom up, and she saw that I had my headset on.
Who wants to know?
So she like woke up like half dazed, and like she was like in her like little nightgown, her little moo nightgown, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to make mac and cheese," like, and she was like so out of it that she like went to the kitchen and like turned the light on in the kitchen, and I was like, "It's 9 o'clock at night. Like, are you like, what are you doing? You can't go, like, you're not making mac and cheese right now. Go back to bed." No, Horseman, don't make that face at my mommy. $7 was delicious. A dense fudgy brownie with a vanilla icing.
Name's
I like
Shepard.
when it's chocolate and vanilla to break it up.
Liara Tassoni said you might have information.
So sweet,
on
I know.
Thane
So
Krios.
she's gonna try someday this week.
Tana,
But she
cover
usually
for me.
she usually goes to bed so early that
Over here.
it just probably won't happen. So
Yeah, I
we're
know
gonna
who
try
Thane
for the weekend.
Krios is. I might have passed him some information, but I didn't hire him. What do you want to know?
Maybe you could help me find him.
Powdered
I
sugar.
can tell you, but you won't stop him. When he contacted
That's
me,
not
I
too
checked
sweet.
up on him. The man never gives up on a job. I ran
Ray, are
security
you
for
home?
Nasana Dantius. Then I found out she was having people killed to cover up her dirty secrets. She fired me when I confronted her. Her loss. I might have been good enough to stop Thane from taking
You just got
her
home.
down.
Nice.
Who is she? A wealthy speculator with a nasty disposition. She's killed her business rivals, government officials. I heard she
No
even
mac and
took out
cheese,
her
no
own
views.
sister.
Later, suckers.
If anyone
Later,
deserves killing, she
loser.
does.
Later, loser. We're staying.
Just tell me where I can find Thane.
The Dantius Towers. Penthouse level of Tower 1.
Need to learn how they make them. You should go to Haunt, and you should kidnap somebody who works in the bakery, and then you bring
There's
them
a
back
second
home,
tower,
and then
still
you
under
say,
construction. If Thane
"Make
is smart,
me
he'll go in from there."
brownie," and then say, "It's indentured servitude. It's not slavery," and you're fine.
It doesn't sound like Nasana's just gonna let me in.
She's as smart as she is paranoid.
I agree,
No one's getting
and
in or out of there without a fight. I can get you in, but you'll only get one shot. You'd better be ready.
yeah, don't directly threaten them. There was no. I don't think I said a
You're
threat.
just offering your help. No strings attached.
You're going
I
to
think
look
I just
for
said
Thane.
you're gonna show me how to
Nasana's
make a
mercenaries
brownie.
will try to stop you. At the least, you'll distract her guards. Take a little fire, give Thane a
As long
clear
as you don't
shot.
call it slavery,
I
it's
didn't hire
fine.
him to kill Nasana, but I won't shed any tears when she gets what's coming to her.
I'll get what's coming to you.
Alright. Did I do this one already?
You're just offering your help.
You're going to look for Thane. At the least, you'll distract her guards. Take a look. I didn't hire him to kill Nasana, but I won't
Yep,
shed any
okay.
tears when she gets what's
I'm
coming to
ready.
her.
Let's go then.
In a
Good.
dungeon?
I'm tired of this crap. We'll go tonight as soon as the shift workers clear out of
My
Tower 2.
my CVS, you mean? It's a brownie with vanilla frosting. It doesn't sound like a ton of mysteries involved. Yeah, but like you say that, but sometimes, yes, the consistency is important. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's too thick. Sometimes it's too fluffy. Some like brownies. We don't talk about brownie slavery. No. Right, my shirt is like, yeah, gross. Okay. I guess we'll just do our regular crew. All right, how many points? I still can't do anything. Yeah, I still can't do anything. Okay. But yeah, I agree. Cake, cookie, and brownie consistency. I almost said slavery.
So, this assassin. You planning
Cake,
to stop
cookie,
him?
and brownie
I'm just
slavery.
Here to make sure he survives.
It's the consistency is very important. I'm deleting this VOD. I'm deleting this VOD.
Dante's towers. You'll have to get up to the second tower and cross the bridge to the penthouse.
Baked slavery,
Her mercs
bakery.
will fight you every step, but it's
oh.
your best chance.
Why don't we just save
You
time
heard it
and
here
take the
first.
shuttle up?
She's got mercs with rockets just waiting for you to try. You get maybe halfway up before they shot you down. Besides, your assassin won't go in that way. Best to go in low.
Best to go in low. There's simple and well-shared ratios to make both cookies and brownies texture right.
Any last-minute tips about the towers?
The Eclipse mercs will be well fortified by now, and they won't want to disappoint Nasana. There's no automated defenses or traps, just focus on anything moving.
Okay, let's go.
Alright, let's do this.
Let's do
Hold
this.
on.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe Teledildo Onyx landed in Frosty Tools.
Don't linger too long, they'll be here to greet you soon enough. Good luck, Shepard.
Oh, that's murder. Oh, that's murder. Oh, okay. I can't shoot through that. Oh, I guess I can. Okay.
Oh, going dark.
Robots cannot murder. It's the first law. I think you're confusing that Will Smith movie with what a video game. These robots lost the memo. Yeah. All right. No! I hate that the red ones lock you out. Damn. Hi, Rachel. I missed you too. You know what you'd have to do to buy my baking? You know what you'd have to do to buy my baking? Now I'm curious. You've piqued my interest. How late are you playing? I usually go till, like, I usually stream till midnight. And then obviously, like, if I'm in a mission or, like, if I get a raid, like, you know, relatively
You're still
soon
alive?
before ending.
Feel my legs.
But yeah, usually 12.
Killing me.
But I saw you here being cute. Wait, y'all. Don't make me kiss you.
Who did this to you? And why?
We're just night workers. Nasana sent them after us. She sent the mechs to round us up, but we didn't hear. They just
Yaga
started
knows?
shooting.
Oh, touch the butt? Touch the butthole? Is that what you want? Never? Touch the butt. Touch the butthole.
You? Yes. They were too slow. It was horrible. Everyone screaming.
Everyone's
Like
screaming.
There was no time.
No touchy, no
Santa
Becky.
wanted us out.
Everyone keeps saying that. Guys, thank you. I was just sleeping in bed for 3 days because I had no internet, and it just is. But thank you.
Help me.
Oh wait.
That should ease the
I
pain
almost
and
missed
keep you
Paragon.
alive until help arrives. He doesn't know where the
No touchy, no
assassin is.
bakey.
Take your time.
Baking for butts. Honestly, if I ever did a bake sale, that's what I would do. I would call baking for butt pads.
Help them.
How could I do a bake sale on stream?
We need to get up to the
How can I do a bake sale
Any
on stream?
suggestions?
Take the service elevator to the upper floors. The bridge between the towers isn't finished, but if you're careful, watch out for the mercs.
Their blood is green. Their blood is green.
Any idea how many mercs
Baking to buy
Nasana's
butts for the
got?
buttless.
A lot. Dozens of them are wandering around here all day. You'll find more the further up you go.
Butts for the buttless, eyes for the eyeless. Early day, of course. Good night, Rachel. Thanks for coming in. It's good to see you.
Why would Nasana kill her
Oh
own
no, my
workers?
baby butt fell off. I hope my adult butt comes in.
I didn't realize she was that ruthless. My friends, co-workers, slaughtered. They were jumping off ledges to
Your
escape the dogs.
Yeah, either that or Yaga's FBI agent is just like sitting there like this the whole time. Just.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
Let's get moving.
I would guess that my FBI's agent name is like Steve. Also, my nails are getting too long. It's getting hard to play on keyboard right now. But I can't get my nails done while I have this totally fine pinky. Nothing to worry about. Can you move, Jack? Loki merch.
Now you see me.
This is
I
Meg,
can
but I
take
said merch.
you all.
The boogeyman ate my pinky. I hope he gives it back.
Nothing can stop me.
Just say you're growing out a coke nail. I've actually never, no, I have never even attempted it. Like, not even curiosity, like, oh, let's just try it once. I've never, ever done it. And I, like, this is gonna sound pretentious, but it's not pretentious, so just keep that in mind. But, like, I was in, like, a circle with, like, a lot of musicians. And there was a lot of that shit around me. Oh my god, guy. You have tried it? I can't shut up when I do it. So I have like my own personal rule, just because I'm like scared, is like if it doesn't like just kind of like grow that way, then like I won't use it, I guess. Like that, I guess it doesn't make sense because I vape, but like I don't know. Like I've done mushrooms and I've done weed, and that's it.
Rerouting power.
And that's it. You worked in the hunt industry and still never did anything?
Requesting assistance.
Can you Look at the other guy. Yeah, who drinks? I feel like that's like not even like a sip. Like that's like you'd have to drink so many fingernails to get like any sort of drink, any sort of refreshment. Also, I have to go piss, girl. So after this fight, we're oh my god, you bitch. Okay, good. I'm here. Zoomers are okay. You did the shrooms once, never again. Really? I didn't find shrooms to be anything crazy. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to tell you to go over there. You don't need to go there. You're fine. Why did you put that completely out of context? Oh
Hey,
no.
I think he went in here.
We'll go get him.
You
Alright.
go.
Alright, hold on. Alright, hold on. Come over here. Because I gotta go piss, girl. Alright. Alright, is everyone? Come on. Is everyone good? That's the best kind of quote? I guess you're probably not. Alright. Alright, I'll be right back. Whew, okay. It's a long story, but the gist of it is I watched my eyes dilate in the mirror. Ooh, yeah, bad trip is... That'll do it. That'll do it for you. He's into weed and stuff, and he made some weed cookies, stick two of them to a course. I didn't know they were pot cookies. Bunch of fucking degenerates, I know. I also have like no... I have 3. I have 3 bullets. I have 3 bullets.
Fluid intake immediately.
Cool. Alright guys, you got this? Can I do magic? Can I do magic stuff and help? I need ammo. I didn't see any. I wolfed them down. Yeah, do they at? That'd be fun.
I'll destroy you.
Nice. You guys are doing great. You guys are doing great.
Nothing can stop me.
You guys are doing great. Ooh. I watched that. Looks like that hurt, Jack. Do that. And then and then do that. Alright, let's use my last 3 bullets. 1, 2, oh, I'm out. The director of the facility came through and was saying that there's 0 tolerance to using drugs. They couldn't prevent him from using. But it did pull me out. Picture badge, my eyes look red. Oh my god. Allergies, exactly. No, people can't tell you can't have allergies. That's illegal. That's illegal. Good job, guys. You did it. Wonderful job. Is there any ammo anywhere? Oh, ah! Okay, keep doing your thing. Oh, oh no, she's almost dead.
I'll kill you all.
Ow. Oh no! You're so rude. That's rude. I have no ammo. I gotta use magic.
Good for you.
Good for you. That was great. Good for you.
I'll destroy you.
Nice. Nice. You know what'd be really cool? Some ammo. You guys are doing great. I don't have any. I have nothing.
Haha.
Look! I have nothing!
Watch for fire!
I have nothing! Nothing! I don't know! Because this pistol, first of all, one of the pistols I have, for whatever reason, only carries like 28 fucking bullets, which is dumb. What do you mean powers cannot be used during cooldown? Oh, are they back up already? Oh, they are. Okay. I don't know. Because usually, oh my, can you go? No, get back over. Because usually I pick up like ammo all over the place. But for whatever reason, there's none here. Oh, oh, oh. What are you? What are you? Yeah.
Now you see me.
Step in front of me. Sumi's over there invisible in front of me. Come on.
Need some cover.
Need some cover. There's ammo right there too, I think. Maybe not. Are you're not? Okay. Yeah, and then yell at you. They're like, ow. Ow. That hurts. Oops, the fuck? Oh my god. There's ammo on the floor, I see it. Give me. Now we're rolling. Look at that. This is 2. Hi, Dibbles. How are you? Welcome in. Okay. These. Give me these. Give me. Okay. Reloading. Okay. Every time I go somewhere, they always just decide to share. I knew it. I can't see. I can't see through my own head. Are you girls gonna...
On it. I'm going.
The best? 2's the best one. I'm enjoying 2 a lot so far. Bruh. Oh, they're both down. Not anymore. Bruh. Why do these guys duck so much? Okay. There we go. Now. Nice. I hate when I can't see through my own head. Me too. I hate when my own head gets in my way. What's this? Ooh, a snipper. Garrison Zaid can use the snipper. Alright, let's not fuck this up this time by touching the red ones. Oh my god. Oh, look at that. That was easy. This one. What? Oh, it's not that one. Okay, hold on. I don't see it yet. I'm gonna run out of time. I think it's this one. Okay, there we go. I think it's this one. There we go. Full access granted. Nice. Okay. Did I also get... I think there was a med pack box behind me when when I first came in here and started shooting. Could be mistaken. Hold on. Thought it was like... Yeah. Look at me remembering things. Okay, let's go back in the store. Let's go. Come on, girls. Let's go, girls.
What are the odds that elevator's gonna be empty when it gets here?
No, very
Slim
low.
to none. Let's be ready for him.
Mezzanine. Have a pleasant stay.
I've lost shields.
I knew it. Alright, everybody. Just fucking go. Oh, I'm so fucked. What am I stuck behind? I knew it. I shouldn't have been that close. I hate that they're all the same button. Oh, that probably didn't help my case at all.
Let's be ready for him.
No. No.
Have a pleasant stay.
Move your ass.
I haven't. Dude.
Don't scare me. Don't scare me. Heavy
That seemed a little ridiculous, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta go full ridiculous.
Sending in the drone!
Well, that was rude. Listen.
Get through my shields!
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Okay, what is this? What is she doing? What is she doing? Where are you going?
Let's see if they burn!
Jeez. She was very annoying. Okay, ammo. Let's go, girls. That was actually very funny. I did not expect that to just like completely melt that boss. Well, I don't know if that was even a boss, but it just melted him.
My team's always ready to go. I don't know where he is. Not yet. Don't worry about it. We don't need any reinforcements. I'll take care of it. It's under control. I'll go down there myself.
Turn around very slowly.
Damn it.
Have you seen the assassin?
That was funny.
Why are you looking for him? You're not one of Nisana's mercs. Who are you?
One more day left before retirement. Well, she shouldn't have came for this heat. All right. Let's play neutral.
Tell me where the assassin is.
I've got nothing more to say to you. If you shoot me, my team's right through there.
You're lucky.
They'll be all over you.
You're lucky I'm good.
Is a little information really worth dying over? Is Nisana?
What is with my duck lips?
I suppose not. Okay, look. Last I heard, the assassin was down on the mezzanine. But the teams on the bridge think they might have spotted him. Nobody knows for sure.
Get out of here.
I'm going.
The light makes me look so evil. Is that it? Is that's... Right? Hello?
He's all over the place.
What do you mean?
We've got reports of him on multiple levels. We think he's traveling.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that, but...
Now you see me.
Crap. Expected. Let's go get this. I'm done. Okay. Where's everyone?
Nope, we're dead.
Who said that? Mind over matter. No, 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 girls. We don't say... We don't have cheesy one-liners as we kill people. I feel like I... What? They not over there? Ah, they're there.
Somebody, please give me a report. About time. What's going on down there?
Power cells open. Thank you.
I'm afraid your men aren't able to respond, Miss Anna.
What are you shooting at? Ladies. Okay, can you... I feel like sometimes I get stuck in the, what you call it? In cover. Like, sometimes you... I don't need the big gun.
You're dead.
But I want this one.
Destroy you.
I'll destroy you. I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't mean to interrupt you with a gun to your head. What is going on? No, they're not. They're just not here.
I'm going. Taking him.
Oh, bye. See you later. That was a funny death. I swear she went. Refined element 0. I think I'm gonna leave the particle beam. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just leave everyone's weapons the way that they are for now. I don't really know what else to do. Time to hunt for hard drives. Are you looking for an external, internal?
Forget the explosives!
That was insane.
Nothing can stop me.
Dude, how much health do these guys have? Insane.
Engaging target.
Ooh! Oh, that's kind of like Planet Crafter. Planet Crafter has like little blueprint boxes in ruins. May have to move to foam bed. Why? Oh, you don't feel well? So go to bed. Go to actual bed, not like watch stream in bed. Like actually go to bed. Don't let your memes be dreams. I gotta like... Holy smokes, dude. Jeez, this lady did not want to die. She did not want to die. Crazy and achy. Queasy and achy is a bad combo. Yeah, exactly. Both of those at the same time? Yeah, right. I'll probably, honestly though,
useful.
like I'll probably only be going until the end of this mission. So don't feel obligated to need to be here.
Ready. Combat system engaged. Systems have engaged.
I hate when I'm a better shot than my characters.
Through my shields! I don't care what you do. No one gets across that bridge.
Have we tried getting a new body? I'm doing the water fixes everything. Yeah, water fixes everything, right? Sticking around. I would love a new body. That'd be pretty cool. You could just exchange them, right? Alright. Where are we going? Where are we going? MLPs. The knees are crap. Ooh, okay, hi. Okay. They've got... Okay. Can I do that? Okay. This one. Two. Okay, cool. Okay, everyone chill. Everyone relax. Everyone chill. I love Jack. Oh my god. That's not.
Haha.
It's so funny. Loud noises. Alright. Don't see anybody else. I say that and I'm sure there's still people. Okay, let's get this ammo again. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
I'll tear you apart.
Gift for you.
Gift for you. I love their little quips. It's so cute. Okay.
I'm sending in reinforcements.
Who are you? Oh, are you? Did you just magic at me? Did you just magic at me? I magic you. I don't know what's going on right there, but... That looks cool. Sometimes I manage to catch it in really funny like there's another one where look it. Sometimes I do catch it at fun times. Sumi, where'd you go? Is there any ammo over here? Is that why you went over here? The dog tried to jump on your naked leg. With this.
Wait.
Asana.
Before you kill me, just tell me who hired you.
Why would I tell you that?
Who do you think it was?
Jack.
Screw you. Charming.
Kill me then. I'm not playing your
She tore your
stupid
skin
games.
open? Oh, Jesus.
Well,
Which
you
dog?
made it this
Lilith?
far. Now what?
You really think I'm here to kill you?
Do you have another reason for destroying my tower? Decimating my security?
I'm just looking for someone.
You expect me to believe that? Is it credits? Is that what you want? Just tell me a price. We can make this problem go away.
How much do you have?
Make me an offer.
Double whatever you're getting. And I'll pay double again if you tell me who hired you. What?
I heard something.
Damn it. Check the other entrances.
Yeah, that was
You
very obvious.
stay
Yeah.
When I'm finished dealing with this nuisance, you and I am going to...
He just throat punched that dude. He looks like a fish. No, he looks like... He looks like Abe. Abe Sapien from Hellboy.
Nice entrance.
Oh, button your shirt up. Come on.
I was hoping to talk to you.
What is with that?
But prayers for the wicked must not be forsaken.
I don't... I like the voice. I don't like the face.
Do you really think she deserves it?
Not for her.
I have not. This is my
For
first
me.
time playing Dibbles.
The
Please,
measure of
please,
an
no
individual
spoilers.
can be difficult to discern by actions alone. Take you, for instance. All this destruction.
Oh, and he's got like a hole in the back too. That's funny.
I was curious to see how far you'd go to find me. Well, here I am.
I like his voice a lot.
How'd you know I was coming at all?
I didn't. Not until you marched in the front door and started shooting.
Oh, it's a jacket.
Nasana had become paranoid. You saw the strength of her guard force. She believed one of her sisters would kill her.
He sounds like Benedict Cumberbatch, kind of,
Were
but
a
like
valuable distraction.
with like some sort of like filter, like machine filter or something on it. A valuable distraction.
You used me so you could kill her.
I needed a diversion. You needed to speak with me. You certainly fulfilled your end of the bargain. What would you like to discuss?
Saving people, hunting things.
Someone's been abducting entire human colonies. We're gonna stop them. We already know the culprits. A race called the Collectors.
I've heard of them. Attacking the Collectors would require passing through the Omega-4 relay. No ship
Okay.
has ever returned from doing so.
But we don't. Okay, am I stupid or like don't we use the relay all the time?
They told me it was impossible to
Not
get
the
to
Omega-4,
Ilos, too.
okay.
A fair point. You built a career on performing the impossible. This was to be my last job.
He's got pupils though in his black bug eyes. Oh.
Low survival odds don't concern me. The abduction of your colonists does.
You sick?
You're dying. Are you contagious? How long do you have?
If you're interested, we can discuss it on your ship. The problem isn't contagious, and it won't affect my work.
I hadn't heard that. Is there anything I can do?
Giving me this opportunity is enough.
Does he blink sideways?
The universe
No,
is
he
a
blinks
dark
up and down. I
place.
saw.
I'm trying to make it brighter
I
before
saw.
I die.
Fish face. I know, and he's got the little
Many
spikies
innocents
too.
died today.
Yeah,
I
he
wasn't
he
fast
just
enough and they suffered.
he reminds me of Abe
I must
Sapien
atone
from
for that.
Hellboy so bad.
I will work for you, Shepard. No charge.
Alright, yay, we got Thane. Okay, so that actually went a little bit quicker than I thought. Can we Do you think we can get the next person in the next, like, 50 minutes?
I've heard impressive
Because I didn't realize that was
stories,
done.
Krios. Sounds like you'll be an asset
Oh,
to
shut
the
up,
team.
Kanye.
That is, if you're comfortable having an assassin watch your back.
I've accepted
Kanye, nobody invited you.
Uh-huh. Don't know about you, but I'm loyal to more than my next paycheck.
Obviously he is too. He's doing this mission gratis. What's your concern?
I don't like mercenaries. An assassin is just a precise mercenary.
An assassin is a weapon. A weapon doesn't choose to kill. The one who wields it does. Where shall I put my things? I'd prefer someplace dry if anything is available.
The area near the life support plant on the crew deck tends to be slightly more arid than the rest of the ship.
Ah, an AI. My thanks.
Okay, but like, why is he kind of handsome? Why is he kind of handsome?
Civil.
I'm being nice. I am doing Paragon.
We need all the help we can get. He's not what I expected in an assassin. He may surprise you.
Yeah, and he may not.
Oh, it's happening. The alien attraction. No, it's just like he is more human-esque, and that's a very, very, very generous term. He is more human-esque than Garrus is.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you
Will
got
you
a
talk
minute
to me
talk?
yet? Nope.
Anything
okay.
else?
Any ideas on other
yes.
ways?
Expensive.
How much do I have? Do I have money? I do have money. Okay, cool.
Let me know if upgrades
enough.
seem feasible. Can install them whenever you like.
They grow on you?
We'll be here if
Oh,
you need.
no, I'm still not romancing him. Still not happening. Okay, what's the other stuff? Alright, so you said Samara's in the same place. Talk to Tracking Officer Dara in the Transportation Hub. So we have to go...
Commander, you've received a new message at your private
That's
terminal.
fine. If you don't pick the game wheel and then you get suddenly Caden, listen, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. She's my fave. I can't. I can't romance Jack because I'm a female shepherd, unfortunately. Ask chat. As soon as we got Jack, the very first thing I said was, I'm gonna marry her. And then everyone was like, no, you can't romance her as a female. Yeah, you can't romance Jack as a female, apparently. Okay, 4 points. Let's do... Ooh, we can do Cryoblast now? That's cool. Okay, one of those. Caden Ultimate was the worst. I didn't mean to romance Caden. I told you. It just happened. There is only one. You can't, and it's not Jack. They lied. No, I'm pretty sure we Googled. Because I don't think... So I don't think Miranda will. And I don't think Jack will. Assume he won't even talk to me. Like, she's just like, I'm just such a little... I'm so emo. Okay. Okay. And I don't think I have any new guns. Nope. 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 Okay. Miranda should be the only one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we Googled. But if that's not the case, then that will be
Commander,
amazing.
a pleasure to see you again. Can I help you with something?
No, she doesn't know anything else. That's right.
Have a pleasant visit.
You just
Notes
pooped your
asked for,
pants
Commander.
figuratively? It's okay if you did literally. We support you. But why? What happened? Okay, who am I looking for? Was it here? Gateway Personal Defense? Is that where I'm supposed to be going?
Are the heavens still bright, Asari?
Transportation hub.
Or have the Volus finally rolled to the top?
Where is that? No, you can't do Miranda. No, I know, but I thought that the other ones weren't romanceable either. Jack wasn't romanceable. I thought we Googled it. Okay, so...
Don't miss our look.
I'm on the right planet, right? In the transportation hub.
Commerce Awards held last week. All this and more on Financial Entertainment Daily.
Garrus, Thane, Caden, Liara, Jacob, Kelly, Morinth, and Samara are FemShep's options. I don't know who the last three are. Okay. Shipping, trading. The Normandy's here. So, where would security be? And what? Okay, so those are stores. Eternity Bar. You got invited to play Goose Goose. How was it? Oh, Kelly, my assistant. That's funny. Okay. Chat, you can help in this particular instance. Where am I supposed to be going for security? According to this, it says the... Oh, I'm sorry. The transportation hub is where I'm supposed to be going. So, but I don't know where that is. Trading floor, eternity, shipping and cargo, maybe? Taxi stand? Maybe it's here. Is it the third game? Yeah, I swear I got in those straps. The knit straps. Where are you trying to go? I'm trying to get the Justicar. It says talk to tracking officer Dara in the transportation hub, which I'm guessing is here. That's where I'm guessing. It's like Among Us, but with some tweaks. And there's a button to make your character fart. That's funny. Have you guys seen that new one? Oh my gosh! Of course, now that I say something, I'm drawing a blank and I can't remember the name of it is. It's all over. Lockdown Protocol, I think it's called.
Listen, I know. What is it?
I think you're right.
An important call.
I overheard you talking. Is this the data you're looking for?
The Kurosa Generational Archive. You found it. Thank you. My whole family has been worried. That data is irreplaceable. I didn't think I'd get it back from Nasana's corporate building.
Why is this data so important anyway?
It's a genetic
It
history
is first
for the
person,
entire
yeah.
Kurosa family. It's used for high-level reproductive negotiations. It would be like a human...
You don't know which
pedigree,
NPC which is which? Wow.
Without it, you're bargaining from a greatly weakened position. Losing this would have hurt my family for generations, maybe even destroyed it.
There's your data. I hope it helps your family.
You have no idea, human. I don't know who you are or how you got it, but thank you. Here, for your trouble.
Sure.
Blessings be upon you. You've certainly blessed us.
Blessings!
Fears of an uncontrolled plague in the streets of Omega have been laid to rest, as the disease is now under control.
Talk to any bitches. I can't talk to any bitches. Bitches? Hi, bitches.
Excuse me. You know where I can find Serena?
She's not here anymore. Oh, you're the one she was helping out. She took a job off-world. Didn't say where.
Convenient.
She gave me something for you. Looks like a message.
Thanks.
I'll listen to it later.
Oh, sure. See ya.
See ya. By later, I mean right now. Delete recording? Without even listening to it?
I was on my way to a new life when the new burst arrived. The bitch is dead. I assume that means your friend is alive and he finished his job. Tell him if I ever see him, I'll buy him a drink.
Ooh. Now what?
Hey, I gotta get back to work.
Now what? Oh. Oh, that's Tana. That's not Dara. Excuse me. Excuse me. Allure. Allure. Trading floor. Transportation. Move out of the way. All Asari look the same. Wow. That seems spacist. Look at my butt pads while I run. It's so goofy. Thank you for the follow.
Trust me, the goods coming in from the Terminus systems are great
Police.
for business. I don't know. Some of them seem dangerous. That's the whole point. Danger means more contract.
Weapons
work for us.
merchant.
The store's over there. And don't get cute. The whole place is monitored.
Why are you so mean? Why are you so mean? Memories of Lilium.
Oh, blue rose of Ilium.
I can get Pish?
Let your roots dig deep into
Oh my god, I want Pish. You guys remember when I wouldn't lie to those guys?
What do you want?
Why you being a bitch?
Sorry, that damn Krogan's love poems are getting on my nerves.
Is that Krogan bothering you?
No, you don't need to hurt him or anything. He's harmless. Which, I know, Krogan, so it's hard to believe. His name is Char. We're kind of dating, but, well, we're on a break. And he's trying to show me how sensitive he is by, well, wooing me. It's really bad.
I love this. Why'd you break up?
So why are the two of you on a break?
He's serious. Serious, as in talking about kids. Char is a great guy to date,
Wait!
but for something permanent...
I'll fix it after.
Krogans live long lives. It's not like dating a human.
I don't know why the
stick it out
whatchamacallit
for a
didn't want to come
century
up.
till they die. No offense. It made me wonder if he really likes me, or if he just wants kids. He can't have them any other way, you know, because of the genophage.
But beauty under glass is untested and weak. Where are your honored dead? To fertilize the ground that
Oh, has it been coming up? Okay. As long as it has been coming up.
It doesn't seem common for
Okay.
Asari to date Krogan. What brought you two together?
He's a fun guy, really smart, especially for a Krogan. And he's got a good job as a transport technician. It's fun to join a mercenary guild or dance at bars for a few centuries, but eventually you hit the matron stage, you know? Then you get your back tattoo removed, let your scalp go back to its natural blue, and settle down with someone dependable.
This is so funny. This is so funny.
Eternity unembraced and grapple in the glorious struggle that is us.
Okay, so do this one.
He's serious.
And then
It made me wonder if he really likes me.
talk to him.
Or if he just wants kids. He can't have them any other way, you know. Because of the genophage.
That sounds like a question you should ask him.
I did. I don't think he realized that our kids would always have been Asari. Non-Asari don't always get that we're not taking alien DNA, we're just using it to randomize some of the genetic information. Anyway, Char was quiet for a long time. Then he said that he'd love our girls no matter what color they were.
Wait, hold on a second. Like, I understand, but also... So like,
need to talk to your
does she
boyfriend.
even
He's just
need
gonna keep
him, or
shouting
can she like
poetry until we do.
self-produce?
I
Because it's just
know,
like
but it's tough. I like him
DNA.
a lot. Hell, I love him. But I don't know if he's permanent Bond material.
Look at him. He's obviously crazy about you.
Is he? I mean, what if he just wants to have kids? Am I just his baby-making machine? He said I wasn't, but...
If he said that, then you either trust him, so you have nothing to worry about, or you don't, and you've already decided.
I guess I haven't
They use
thought
it, okay,
about it like that.
but she said
And I
that they
do
would
trust
still come
him.
out Asari
He
though.
said it. I'm going to talk to him. Here, I've given you a discount at the terminal. Thanks for the help.
So like, does she like? Do they actually need other? Like, do they
What about
actually
fish?
need other
She loves the
alien
garden.
DNA?
We could add a pond.
She doesn't need a fish.
They do actually need other DNA. Okay. Not that's what I meant. Like, do they actually need another?
Ready to try and make it as a commando?
Why not? Every Asari has biotics.
Okay.
Might as well use them, right? For example,
I haven't read that yet, but all I see is that it says, Caden's emo gaslighting.
She insists.
Oh, she's green.
Shepard. I don't
She's
suppose you
green.
remember me. I'm Shiala. We met on Pharos during the Geth attack. Saren had given me to the Thorian creature as a slave, and you killed it. And saved me. I promised to help Zoo's Hope recover. I'm actually here on Ilium for just that purpose.
How's Zoo's Hope doing?
We've done a lot of rebuilding. We even salvaged some useful material from the Geth ship you destroyed. The Exogeny researchers got called back to their headquarters, however, along with what was left of the Thorian.
Asari think Asari on Asari purebloods are wrong with other species to expand their, but they still come out Asari, which is just fine funny.
How's Zoo's Hope doing?
We've done a lot of... The Exogeny researchers got called back to their headquarters, however, along with what was left of the Thorian.
Is there something I can do to help?
I'd appreciate it. I've reached the limits of my diplomatic abilities, and I prefer not to start trouble. Some of the colonists had health problems as a result of the Thorian control. We hired a colonial survey group to do some medical scans. But the medical contract apparently allows the company to perform invasive procedures without our consent. That's why I'm
Why
here.
are you green?
Wait a minute, Shiala. You were only green when the Thorian made you a clone. The real you was blue like normal Asari.
Those health problems I said were related to the Thorian control. This is mine. A few months after the Thorian died, my skin pigment changed. My biotic abilities are unstable as well. I'm also having vivid dreams about my time with the Thorian. It is disconcerting.
What kind of health problems did the colonists have?
Headaches or muscle spasms similar to what they experienced while under Thorian control. Sometimes the colonists near another former Thorian victim shared sensations like heat or pain. It has to be a result of trace amounts of the Thorian's parasitic spores. You can see why we'd want it studied and cured.
Tell me more about the contract you signed for
You
these
like your green?
scans.
I do too.
Barrier Frontiers
It's like a
was
mint
interested in our
green.
problem. They offered to perform medical scans and deliver treatment for next to nothing. I should have known it was too good to be true, but we were desperate. In the fine print, we apparently agreed to let them perform invasive follow-up procedures if they deem it valuable, which they have.
Is this a real threat?
Can they actually force these procedures on you?
No, but they can declare us in breach of contract, which means we're responsible for the full price we would have paid normally. Zoo's Hope just got back on its feet. There's no way we can afford that, Shepard.
Okay.
I'll talk to the survey group.
I appreciate it, Shepard. The Barrier Frontiers representative knows about the issue.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Hi, Paul. Alright, so there's Dana, who's the girl I was looking
Can
for.
I help you with something?
I'm looking for an Asari
Paul, how you
warrior
doing?
named Samara.
Wait, why? Do you have a problem, or did she kill somebody already?
No.
Relax. I just need to speak with her.
Good. Samara's the first Justicar I've seen on Ilium. If I'm lucky, things will stay peaceful. She went to the commercial spaceport a few hours ago. If you want to get there, the pedestal on that balcony will summon a cab. Just be polite when you meet her. Justicars embody our highest laws, and they usually stay in Asari space. She's not used to dealing with aliens.
Tell me about the Justicars.
They're a monastic order. They've
Justicars.
given up their families and possessions to follow their code. Most of them are on some lifelong mission, but they'll always stop to deal with any injustice they encounter, which can be a problem. In some ways, they're a lot like the Spectres, undertaking personal missions.
Can't wait for you to meet Space Mommy. 0 to 100.
Spectres are authorized by the Council. Who do Justicars represent?
Can I romance Space
That's
Mommy?
like, I don't know a good human metaphor. They represent their code, our code. It's closer to a religious group than a legal branch. No law-abiding Asari would question a Justicar's orders. Nobody becomes a Justicar for personal gain. And they die before breaking their oaths.
I'm looking for Samara.
Like I said, she's at the commercial spaceport. You can hail a cab at the pedestal on that balcony over there.
Should be able to. Okay. Yeah, because they do. They do the
Samara
do.
really that dangerous?
If you follow the laws,
I just
you've
had a
got
thought in my
nothing to
head
fear,
while
and
I
the
was
Justicar would
listening
die
to
without
that,
hesitation to protect the innocent.
and now I lost
But their
it.
code orders them to stop lawbreakers, with lethal force in most cases. And everyone skirts the law somehow on Ilium.
50?
If someone tried
Holy
to bribe her,
shit.
she'd be obliged to gun them down as a matter of honor. I'm hoping to avoid that.
50 months. Holy smokes, Chaos. Thank you for 50 months. That's absolutely insane. Chaos, how was your stream? Did you fantasy of the final persuasion today? You better not have Elden Ringed and I missed it. If you Elden Ringed, I'll be very upset. But yeah, my internet's back. Yay.
Why are you worried about other species coming into contact with her?
If a Justicar kills an Asari, none of us questions it. But if she killed a human, do you think the Alliance would understand her actions and respect her authority? You can't even figure out your own religions. It's a big diplomatic incident just waiting to happen.
All right, let's go. Let's go get her. I just don't understand why these games, I guess because they I guess the demographic is guys who would be playing this game. Maybe, possibly, maybe. And that's why, like, the women just naturally just look cooler and better than the men in this game. I take exception to
Where
that.
do you think you're going? I'm taking my goods to Omega.
Great things, even chaos
You're
things.
not going anywhere, merchant.
You're
Not until I
chaos.
solve this
Sicko.
murder. I had nothing to do
That
with
women
that.
are superior.
It was
Yeah, but
those
then why can't
mercenary
you
thugs
romance
you can't seem
them?
to get rid of. The victim was your business partner, and I'm not ruling you out. I'll let you know when you can leave.
I just...
What about that
I just
Justicar
question
that
their
just showed up?
choices is all.
Everyone says she might go crazy and start killing. I need to leave.
She'll only kill the unjust, so I'm sure you have nothing to worry about, Pitney 4. Find me in the station if you need me.
Jack was supposed to... I mean... I feel like it's space and aliens and stuff. Like, if Baldur's Gate does it... Like, imagine... Oh my god, imagine if Baldur's Gate was like, no, 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 you can't romance Shadowheart. She doesn't like you. She's racist. She only likes elves. Like, oh my god. Alright, let's talk to this detective. She seems like she should be... I don't even necessarily think she
Nice
seems
guns.
like she should be bi.
Try
I
not
just
to
feel
use them in my
like...
district.
For a game
What can I
that's
do
supposed
for
to be
you?
like space,
looking for an
future,
Asari warrior
alien
named
races
Samara.
and stuff.
If you've got a score to settle with Samara, take it
People have a
somewhere
lot
else.
of
I've got more than enough
preferences
trouble
in
here
space.
already.
As a guy, I always play as a female character. I have a lot of guy friends who always play as female characters too. And they always say, like, because they'd rather look at a girl, which I get, but then, like, you can't romance. Then that means you have to romance a dude as a girl. I just think it's funny. Okay. I've got Square said I'll take somewhere else. Okay, I need her help.
I need to recruit Samara for my mission. Then we'll be on our
But yeah,
way.
that's, I actually know a couple, yeah, you know a few? Yeah, I have a couple guy friends that always play as girls. You know who used to play as girls, remember? And I would always have to argue with him because I would be like, I'm playing the girl character. Like, no.
You're letting her into a sealed crime scene?
I'm a cop. I'll work with the Justicar all I can. Besides, she's been looking at crime scenes longer than our 2 lifespans combined. She knows how to handle herself.
To support the voice character, yeah. 2 of them aren't guys anymore. People would be so nice and just give you shit. That's funny.
You're awfully anxious to get Samara out of your district.
My bosses want me to detain her.
Kind
They're
of.
worried she'll cause some kind of
Just eating peaches.
cross-species incident.
Oh.
But her Justicar code won't let her be taken into custody. If I try it, she'll have to kill me. I have no interest in dying, so if you lure her away with some big noble cause before I have to carry out my orders, I'm thrilled to help you.
Your superiors are sending you to certain death for no good reason. You have a right to disobey.
Let's
I
remember
mean-
that next time Shepard sends us into impossible odds.
Yeah,
That's about
no.
twice a day.
I was gonna no, that's not.
Most of the time, I'm not being
Imagine
stupid
being
about
in the, like, the military.
Same for Anaya's superiors.
And they're like, you're gonna go to
I'm a cop and I
war.
know my
And they're
duty.
like,
I've been ordered
no
to detain her, and
thanks.
I will. Unless I can get her to leave my district first.
How do I get to the crime scene?
It's around the corner. Go outside, take a look.
It's called desertion,
Look
I
for
think,
the police
isn't it?
line. I'll send word to let you in. Be careful. The local Eclipse mercs have been all over those back alleys lately.
Bye.
I have to go.
I have to go. That was so
Good
serious.
luck.
That was
We
so
should find
serious.
Samara before the detective does.
Okay. Which way? This way? Alright. Now, they said to hail a cab.
Cops don't admit it, but the Eclipse sisters run this area.
Whoa.
Anaya told us to let you through.
Oh.
Watch yourself. There's merc
I was
activity
just being
back here.
silly.
We're waiting on backup.
Oh, hi. Does Shepard still endorse every store? Yes, this is my favorite store. I can see now that was not sincere. I really play as female in games because I feel they're not played enough. I can appreciate that, but I do know, like, I have friends who play as female characters just because they like them better. Or I have one friend who I used to make fun of him all the time. He'd be like, oh, I don't want to look at, like, I don't want to look at a dude's ass all the time. Like, you know, if you're playing third person or whatever. But we were playing Fallout 76 together, and I was like, bro, you can't even see your character's ass in third person. or in first person. Oh my god, they walked in front of me. They always walk in front of me. Step out. This is my favorite store in the entire Citadel. You may not be able to see it, but you know it's there. You know, fair. But yeah, do you guys remember Nate used to play as female characters? And he would, like, if we were playing like a co-op game, he would like rush and like hurry and pick the girl, and I'd always be like, no. No. Oh.
Those were my best troops.
Okay, I love the strawberry armor.
What I need to know, and I will be gone.
The armor that looks like it's a strawberry.
You think I'd betray her? She would hurt me in ways
Strawberry
you can't
armor.
imagine.
The name of the ship. Your life hangs on the answer, Lieutenant.
You can kill me, but one of us will take you down, Justicar.
Nuh-uh, I have a strawberry. Look at my straw titties. My strawberries.
What was the name of the ship she left on?
Go to hell.
Find peace in the embrace of the
Why?
gods.
Why is the strawberry armor?
My name is Samara, a servant of the Justicar Code. My quarrel is with these Eclipse Sisters, but I see 3 well-armed people before me.
Yes.
Are we friend or foe?
We are friend.
I'm Commander Shepard.
You can bring your giant strawberries onto my ship right now, please. Thank
honor
you.
me, but I am in the middle of an investigation.
I'm going up against suicidal odds, and I need the best. That's
Hooray!
I sense the truth in what you say, and it humbles me. But I seek an incredibly dangerous fugitive. I cornered her
Even her
here.
music,
The
like
sisters smuggled her off-world. I must find the name of the ship she left on before the trail goes cold.
I wish you were willing to go with the human.
I like her little
Justicar.
crown thingy.
I've been ordered to take you into custody if you won't leave.
Just punch her right in the face. Just do
You risk a
it.
great deal by following your orders, Detective. Fortunately, I will not have to resist. My code obligates me to cooperate with you for 1 day. After that, I must return to my investigation.
She's the one.
I
Oh,
won't
the
be
face
able to
model
release you
cosplayed
that
her.
soon.
You won't be able to stop me.
That's cool. Now you can only see strawberry. It's strawberries. Come on. Sorry, Dibbles.
the human is
But
lost
at least
here.
you can jiggle
Will
them
you clarify?
berries.
I was trying to convince her to leave with you, but Justicar's in their code.
The detective has been ordered to detain me. I can't force her to disobey an order.
And after a day, Samara starts killing anyone in her way?
I am afraid so.
There must be some way we can all get what we need.
This is funny.
I see a way. While I am
I do like her
custody,
eyes.
you
Her
will
eyes
find the
are
name of that
super
ship.
cool.
Do that, and I will join you. Then the code will be satisfied.
Investigate.
Can you tell me more about Justicars?
We are individuals who have forsworn family, children, and worldly possessions aside from some weapons and armor. We travel Asari space righting wrongs as defined by the ancient code we have each memorized.
Why did you leave?
Ilium may be dominated by Asari, but it isn't in Asari space.
My quarry fled to this place. I am sworn to hunt her down, and I will follow anywhere she goes. It is rare for a Justicar to leave Asari space, but I must follow my oath. If I suffer
I like
for it,
can't
I
stop
will
looking at
accept
her strawberry tits because that's where the subtitles are.
A moment ago, you refused to give up your investigation, but now you'll swear to follow me?
If I stay, I will be compelled to kill many innocents to escape incarceration.
Like me.
I really like the crown
I may be
thingy.
killed, and my quarry
Sure,
will be
that's
free to
why.
continue
I mean,
murdering.
she literally has
If I
strawberry,
can survive
but
the mission,
like,
I
come
can
on.
resume my investigation. To do that, I need the ship's name to
This is
track us to
such
our
a
next
strange
hiding place.
choice for this armor.
It is a simple choice.
Slim chances better than none.
Straw bussy? I mean, like her bussy is not strawberry. Her bussy's like, it's got like a different pattern to the armor.
This Justicar code seems quite strict.
It may seem so to you, but this is my oath.
There
The
are
expedient
subtitles?
path may be fast and simple.
What?
That does not make it the
What?
right path.
Right. Where should I start?
Do you have any leads?
The Volus merchant Pitney 4 is tied to this. Eclipse mercs.
Oh
are
no, she
preparing
does
to
have a
kill
straw
him.
bussy. For some reason,
Get
I
the
thought
truth out
that.
of him,
Oh, that
and
she's
lead
got a
him away into the
thong
Eclipse
straw
space.
bussy. For some reason, I thought that the like
Well,
black
I've
of
got
the
to get
legs
back
was
to my
different.
station, and I guess I've got to take you with me.
Thank you, Shepard.
Excel spread cheeks. Thank you very much for the follow. Follows are anonymous unless you have a amazing name like that. Then everyone has to hear it. Okay, I'm looking for Pitney 4. That's right. Strabussy got you a new. I guess so. There he is. But I mean, okay.
Hello,
but am I wrong?
If you're interested in weapons, I have a fine
But am I
selection.
wrong?
Unfortunately, I am not open for business right now.
Only fruit. God, I hate it here. Paper chew? Guys. Get it all out now. Get it all out now because you guys have to be on your best behavior when my mom is here cooking.
I hardly disclose private information to
Pornhub.
total strangers.
The Eclipse are out for your blood.
Come on.
I need
I know
your
you got
help
more.
to break into their base.
Get 'em out now.
Shouldn't we work together?
Yes, you're right, Earth Clan. I'm desperate. I've got angry mercs after me, and now this Asari Justicar.
Just stick her.
I smuggled a chemical onto Ilium that boosts biotic powers in combat.
Best or best?
It also is
You-
toxic.
I am aware that we only know our best,
Forgotten to
right?
mention that to the
We're talking about
Eclipse.
Strabussy.
So they are perturbed and want to kill me.
It sounds like you're
I
a
don't want to
swimmer
get
and your
banned. Yeah,
actions
you're
finally
new,
caught up with
Dibbles.
you.
You're new. You gotta feel out the water a little bit first.
True. But I haven't survived as a merchant this long without being able to tell when there's a
Yaga,
deal
are
that
you able to give rolls?
You want something.
If you are able to give rolls, can you give Ray VIP, please?
The Eclipse recently smuggled someone.
I don't know
off
why
world.
he didn't
I need
have
the name of
VIP
the ship
anymore.
She left on.
Since he did the
I don't know about
What
their
you call
people
it?
smuggling operations.
It's been like
They
3
must keep
years.
records in their base. I do
Dip
have
your
a
toes in before you
pass card
cannonball into the insanity.
my
I'm a
good
sweet angel. Yeah, Nick.
Well, I
yeah,
had to
Nikki.
return
Yeah,
that
Nikki.
one,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah,
happened to
Nikki.
make a copy.
We could definitely go back through your chat history, and I'm sure you're perfect.
Take it.
This
be
channel went really off the rails when Nate left.
Each Eclipse sister commits a murder to earn her uniform. They are all dangerous.
Sweet like strawberries, I swear to God. If anybody says strawberry while my mother is on stream, I swear. Off the rails or got better? Off the rails, but because we are able to be free. We are able to be free, live our strawberry bubble gum. Do you guys know that Justin Timberlake song? No. I will cash up anyone $5 to say strawberry. No, do not do it. Ray, you don't have enough money for the amount of assholes in my channel. Okay, I didn't know if you were able to or not. You might not be able to. That's fine.
You see that?
Oh, yeah, I see that right as I open the door. It's fun.
Eat it.
Ooh, assuming you scared me. Can you just do /VIP and then his name? You might not be able to. You have editor privileges though, so you technically should be able to do everything. What does VIP do? Just means you're better than everyone.
You're dead.
No, it means you can talk. You can talk when the channel is like in like subscriber only mode or whatever, even while you're not subscribed. What of us? What of us?
Going dark.
I should just subscribe. The ads are loud. I mean, there's also that too. Ads do suck. They are loud and obnoxious. And then you can use my little Astarian emote, you know, in all of the other channels that you watch. all of the tons and tons of other channels you watch on Twitch. You don't have permission? You're an editor, though. That's weird. Okay. Maybe it just doesn't let, because then you just be giving all the rolls out and I'll have no rolls left. This is the only, you know what's funny? I'm very, very close, Wolfie. I'm very close. I want to say I honestly have like 2 or 3 left. I'm very close. Which means I'll have to get rid of the redemption soon, too. You get more if you have people chatting. I need to have... Unexpected. I need to have 75 people chatting at the same time to get my next group of 5. So, like, if I just got, like, a raid or something, that'd be sweet. But anyways, as I was about to say, Ray, when you were like, this is the only channel worth watching, obviously. I love how people say that, and then, like Steph learned how to use Twitch and everything because I was streaming. Like, I used to be the only channel Steph would watch because she didn't understand anything, whatever. And now Steph barely even watches this channel, but she's like on Twitch all the time now. 75 people chatting at once sounds terrifying. I know, but like they could only like if they just like chatted like a little bit so my slot's unlocked, and then, you know. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do
Wait,
it.
Stop! I didn't fire my weapon once. I pretended to because the other Eclipse sisters were watching, but I didn't really shoot.
Someday, but this is always my fave. Hi, Magruder. How you
You're in
doing?
enemy uniform, and I'm gonna
Dibbles.
kill you.
See you in
I'm
30
not
seconds.
One of them. I knew. I
We
thought
don't
being
like.
Elnora the mercenary would be
We don't
cool,
like
but I didn't know
Dragonite
what they were really like.
here. It's only a 30. It's only a 30-second timeout. It's for the lulz. The trap was triggered. I know. I do feel bad about people who are brand new to the channel and don't know my absolute disdain for Dragonite, and they redeem that.
Bad guys and stuff, right? But no, they just sell red sand and illegal weapons.
Dragonair is my favorite Pokemon, and I hate Dragonite.
What does Ardat Yakshi mean?
It's an ancient Asari word for something that I thought was just a
Why the hate?
superstition
What did I do?
until now.
Dibbles,
It means
it's a troll redeem.
I didn't think they were real, but
for
the boss said this scary lady was one.
I don't like Dragonite, which is the evolution of Dragonair. And it's a troll redeem for my my community because they know how much I hate it. You didn't do anything. You fell for my troll. You fell for my troll. Why the hate? Is it the old artwork? No, it's because like it doesn't fit. It doesn't match. It doesn't go. It's stupid. Like the evolution from Dratini to Dragonair to Dragonite doesn't make sense. They went small noodle, large noodle, idiot. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's stupid. Just told me to live, laugh, consume. Live, laugh, consume.
What do they do here that you don't like?
Dratini, big Dratini, derpy dragon, idiot.
Shooting up bad guys and stuff, right?
You started another playthrough of. I haven't played
They
Fallout
just
3
sell
since
red
my
sand
first
and illegal
playthrough of
weapons
Fallout
tech.
3. Might be time.
He even smuggled an Ardat Yakshi off-world.
This is my first week, and this is what happens. You can't. Dibbles, I'm sorry. I wish that there was a way to like explain what it is, but if you explain what it is, then people won't do it. But yeah, it's a 30-second timeout that's like just a silly haha, just a little joke. Small noodle, large noodle, idiot.
What ship did they use for the smuggling?
Wow, I have no idea. It was a few days
Holland
ago,
big noodles,
and like I said, I
giggity.
knew. They didn't tell me anything.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're strawberries and noodles. We're fine. Okay.
Get out of here, Elnora. If you so much as jaywalk, I will find you.
If you so much as jaywalk, I will kill you.
Thank you.
Alright. The flies, there's no flies. We're good. You guys want to see something really nasty? Do you want to see something really nasty? Look. Look. Look at that. That's for, well, I mean, keep in mind we had a hurricane, so everything is disgusting and soaking fucking wet. That's our flycatcher. Isn't that nasty? That's from the nasty, just grossness from the hurricane. And like everything is like muddy and stinky and gross. Blech.
What's this?
Yeah, I'm sure you guys wanted to see that. I'm sure you wanted to, but we're good. We're good. There's no flies. We're good. We're good. Shoe fly, don't bother me. All right, where did I go in here? Nowhere. Okay. Kirk Douglas? I didn't know. I don't know. Let's see, Frosty. Let's see. Am I going the right way? Guess we'll find out. Yeah. I guess we'll find out if there's enemies, but. And then do that. Nice. Love it. I'd assume football. I don't know. Football or maybe. What if it's like tennis or something?
Going silent. Contact.
I definitely shot like the Asari, not the wall behind her, but okay. Jack, don't stand up in front of me. This is so funny because my poor dog is probably like, what? He's probably literally like, I'm not doing anything. Can I wait this out? Yeah.
I'm good to go.
A professional wrestler. Did not see that coming.
Bitch. Get through my shields.
Never would have get. Yeah, same. Did not see that. All right, I need to. I need this toxicity to not be here, please. Come on. What was that? Oh. Is it? It is. Okay. I was like, is that Kasumi? But yeah, it is. Okay. Start hat. This one. None of these. None of these. This one. None of these. I'm gonna run out of time. This one. Okay. We came in this way, so we go up. Okay.
Alert.
I just like, I have the unnecessary urge to just like completely melt these guys with that laser gun that I have. Guys, I'm wondering when the update for the fish will happen, when you can actually start spending your gold.
There they are.
Okay, let's not do that. You pissed me off. Absolutely unnecessary. Who is still here? You? Oh my god, I can't. I hate spray and pray guns. Because my accuracy is usually better, and I'm just like, let's just hope maybe it'll hit them from across here. Alright, how much longer is this mission?
We've been spotted.
It's almost time. Well, it's actually is time, but. Ooh, I'm out. Yeah, I can't use snipers. Okay, can I have ammo, please? Can I have ammo, please? 4 hours? I shot her in the strub. She doesn't have a strubussy. She wishes she did.
Now you see me. Just get there.
I need some ammo. You picked up the sniper? Yeah, but I think it has something to do with my class. Because in the menu, it says like who can use this, and it says like Garrus and Zane, which I know is not his name, and somebody else. Ooh, no, don't.
Now you see me.
Let's not take cover behind explosive containers, huh? Can you stop? Oh my god, please, I beg. I don't give a fuck gun, I know. Okay, I will show you next time we get to an armory that I have a shotgun. I have a sniper. I researched a sniper, but when you go to click on it, it literally says like only Garrus and Zane and somebody else.
Deploying Warfield. I can take you all.
Pick up a new gun type. Yeah. I'm not there yet. And I have no ammo. I need the ammo. Stop. Please? Please, ammo anywhere? No ammo anywhere. Okay, I got heavy weapon ammo.
Well, it's official. Little baby Elnora is finally a full-fledged Eclipse merc. I earned my uniform last night when I killed that ridiculous Bolus.
You're running the exact same character type?
A close exploding round.
I believe you, but also
wide open.
I don't believe you, because
I can't wait to see some real action. Next time I go home, my friends are gonna be so jealous.
Elnora was the killer. We shouldn't have let her go.
We could tell the detective this.
Oh, damn. Bruh. The fact that they always consistently have one shot left on them and I always have to reload because this gun sucks is ridiculous. You let that murderous Asari go. I did, because I actually just decided to just fuck the world, you know?
Down.
Okay.
We've been spotted.
We've been spotted.
Watch it.
Kasumi! Is that really the best place to stand? Damn. What heavy weapons do you have? This one. Okay, so can I?
Gunship overhead.
Yeah. Or if we just stand in the open, that's fine too. Okay. I don't think that there's any point to this, right? I believe so? Yeah, Poop Shepherd. Oh, yeah, you can see Poop Shepherd, a level 11 Sentinel. Hello? That seems illogical and dangerous. No doggies, not right now. I am behind a wall and I can't shoot. Okay. Can I, like, is there even any point in doing it? Oh, yes, there is. Okay. Bruh. Any more ammo? Just the one. Just the one. Okay. Oh, wait, that's what there's. Yep. Oh, alright. Start bypass. Oh my god, I hate when this happens. I'm gonna run out of time because the things don't want to connect sometimes. That.
This looks like a shipping manifest. It shows that Pitney 4 sold 2,000 units of Minigen X3 to
Next
the
big
Eclipse,
mission. Okay.
along with 600 units of red sand.
Samara wasn't looking for this information, but at least it proves the Volus is a criminal. I'm sure Detective Anaya would be interested in this.
We gotta keep moving.
Let's go. Hello? Niftu pal. Hello, sir?
I am a biotic god.
Oh?
I think things, and they happen. Fear me, lesser creatures, for I am biotics made flesh.
You're high.
You need help.
You need help. For you stand before the mightiest biotic ever. Yes, the Asari injecting so many drugs into me was terrifying. But then I began to smell my greatness.
You're not supposed to smell those things.
They may laugh when I fall over, but they don't know what I know in my
My
head.
butt pads.
That I know that I am amazingly powerful. Fear me?
You need more help. Where do you come from?
Are you part of Pitney 4's trade group?
When I was mortal, I worked for Pitney. Poor soul is probably terrified that I have not returned.
He didn't say anything about you going missing. Didn't want to get stuck here.
Face it, Pitney will pick money over friends every time.
Bah! I will wreak a just revenge upon his people. But first, the leader of these mercenaries is in the next room. I shall toss Wasea about like a rag doll.
15 creds says the little guy doesn't get 5 steps in before the merc
Oh
explodes
my
him.
gosh, let's go.
I will tear her apart. My biotics are unstoppable.
Let's go. Should I do it? I haven't been mean the whole game, except for in the first game I was mean to Ashley.
Wasea will tear you apart. Take a nap. You'll feel better.
Are you mad? I'm unstoppable.
Doesn't matter. He's gonna go
Feasting
anyway.
on her biotic-rich blood will be the last step of my ascension. But great wind. Biotic
One more
guard.
mission, 2 missions. No, this is the last one. I'm
Hey.
just finishing this. I
What
thought
was
I
I
was doing
saying?
the same one, just the Samara mission.
I'm tired. You may be right.
Well, yeah, you know, you're right.
I'm
Technically, I said
tired.
this is the last one, and then I finished it super quick.
I'll nap.
So yeah, technically you're right.
Destroy the universe later.
Because I did earlier, I was like, oh, after
deserve to
this
live.
mission. But then I finished it like 10 minutes after I said that. Yeah, see, I have those. Yeah, I just can't use it yet, I guess. Okay. Oh, she's kind of cool.
Everything's gone to hell since we smuggled that filthy creature off-world. First a Justicar shows up. Now you. At least I can take pleasure in turning your head into a pulpy mass.
Okay.
I see.
Let's tone it down a little bit here, Captain Waze. Tell me why so. Why do you have nothing? Oh, protected by blue. Shoot those? Oh, okay, she shot me. It's almost not protected by a barrier anymore. Okay. She's protected by armor now. Okay. I need to not do that. Where is she? Can you? Where is she?
Going dark.
Okay, now can you hit her? Woo! Bye, bitch. Okay, I'm trying to shoot there then.
The information's here somewhere. Let's rip the place.
Sure. Can I be these things? Can I be these things? I don't want poison. Copy memo.
This is probably the ship that crazy Asari is looking for.
You want to head back to the police
I was
station
just
and give her
thinking
the
that too,
name,
they glowed in
or
the
look
dark.
around first?
Cosmic bowling. It's ready to go at all times.
We got time. Let's look around some more.
We got time. Let's look around some more. Sure. Not in any kind of rush. Shit. Oh, hey, gotta give me a... Dude, I don't see it. There it is. Pushed me down there. I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. Alright, so now we have to go back. There's smoke everywhere though, like. What stream tomorrow? Probably this? I'll never finish these games.
Should we go back to the spaceport main yard?
Yes?
Let's go.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Are we Eldening on Wednesday, or are you over it? This mission never ends. Oh, you're not gonna, okay.
Thank you for removing the Eclipse threat, Earth Clan. It will take them months to rebuild their organization.
You may try to finish
Also,
RE before I stream. Well, I stream at 8, which is 5 for you, so that would be an early stream.
When you were poking about, did you perhaps run across a shipping manifest that belongs to me?
I think
you never know when something like this might come in handy.
If it might change your mind, Earth Clan, returning that manifest would be very profitable for you. If you give it to the detective, her reward will be a pat on the back.
Interesting. Right. For 3 months in advance, let's go. Rizzle
If you have something that'll encourage the Justicar to leave, show it to her.
He's trying to bribe you, wild.
I got the name of the ship. Your fugitive left
Oh,
here
look,
2
her
days ago on the
straw busies are back.
Shepard, you
Right, thank you so much for 3 months in advance. That's how long it's going to take me to finish this game, so buckle up. Oh. Why did you stand up like that?
If that will satisfy your superiors, detective.
She stood up pussy first.
It has been an honor having you in my station. And it's nice you didn't kill me, too.
The Eclipse smuggled an Ardat Yakshi off-world. She's who you're really after, isn't she?
You continue to impress.
Straw bussy
yes,
first.
I was here tracking the Ardat Yakshi. She is a dangerous criminal.
So we're probably done after this, right? It'll give us the loading screen.
Complete, of course.
You're sworn to follow a code that dictates your decisions, but I'm running a military operation.
You wonder if I will refuse to follow orders because of my code?
I can't allow that to happen.
By agreeing to follow you, I am compelled to swear the most difficult of Justicar oaths, the third oath of subsummation. After I do, your
The
orders
third
will
oath
override
of
the code.
subsummation.
You should know, however,
Strawberry
that I'll still
submission.
give you my opinion if the situation warrants.
All right, I'll see you on my
Normandy
straw
is docked near the
bussy.
main trading floor. I'll see you aboard.
I must be sworn to your service so that I am never forced to choose between your orders and the code.
Okay. Peace out. Oh. Did she just like shut down? And I can only watch once or twice a week.
I will serve you, Shepard.
Listen, I only stream 4 times a week.
My choices. Your morals
So you're
are my
50%,
morals.
you know?
Your wishes are my code.
I never thought I'd see a Justicar swear an oath like that.
If you make me do anything extremely dishonorable, I may need to kill you when I'm released from my oath.
Okay, sure. I'm
I
honored.
can see that this is a very important act, Samara. Thank you.
Truly, the life of a Justicar
Now you're
can
married.
get lonely.
Married to that straw
I admit I
bussy.
am looking forward to serving with a company of honorable heroes. Shall we return to your ship?
Successfully something. I can't fucking see.
I need to speak to the detective.
She's like, what?
Thanks for getting
Me?
Samara out of my district. I can tell my granddaughters about meeting a Justicar. And you've just upped my chances of living long enough to have grandkids.
Found the murderer.
I have proof that Eclipse killed the Volus merchant.
Let's see what you got there. Interesting. But I can't verify it. It would be inadmissible.
I vouch for Shepard and any evidence she brings forward.
I accept the judgment of the Justicar. Thanks, Shepard.
There you go.
I wasn't sure about trusting a stranger.
Successfully
and
get
a
that
human at
Strablussy.
that.
Exactly.
But you came through.
That's what that
It's a shame
achievement
Miss
says.
Elnora
I hope it says
escaped,
that.
But I'll get her. At least you put her on the run. Okay, enough with all the congratulations. I've still got a spiraling crime rate.
You should probably get on that then.
I have proof that Pitney 4 smuggled in red sand and illegal weapons
Oh,
tech.
I'll send in some
tattled on
officers
this
to
dude.
arrest him and his cohorts.
Oops.
This is a big help, Shepard. I can't do much to thank you.
didn't even think about
But I
that.
do
I
have
didn't
a
even think
small
of the repercussions of
discretionary
that. I
bounty
just clicked
fund.
it. It's
Take
fine.
this.
Alright, let's go back. I know, I'm a space narc. I'm a space narc. I'm a snark. Alright, guys. Let's... Sundays are hard. Sundays are really hard to find someone.
Welcome to the Normandy, Samara.
We'll see.
Studied your profile extensively. With your skills, I think you'll be
A
an
spot
excellent
chain
addition to
narc,
our
I
team.
know.
Thank you. From an organization such as yours, that is high praise indeed.
Listen,
I've
don't
seen
listen to
Samara's
Kanye.
bionic
Nobody told
powers at
Kanye he
work.
could speak.
They're substantial.
We don't
Still don't
we
know
don't
what we're
pretend
gonna find
Kanye
when
doesn't
we hit the
exist here.
collectors.
I will be prepared for whatever we encounter.
Where shall we put you?
A room that looks out on the great empty void would be most comforting.
Yes,
Put her
same.
in the observation room on
Same.
deck 3.
Thank you. I must meditate
Same.
on the day's events.
Kanye does want that Strablussy. He's like, I'm gonna go tap that pussy. Okay. Save! Kanye would want that Strablussy. That's what I'm saying. Alright. Can you snooze the ad, Yaga? Are you still here in mod view? Hold on. I might be able to actually pull it off. Because we're just gonna snooze the ad because we're gonna raid out. But I can't do anything while the game's open. There we go. Okay. Have a wonderful night. You too, Dibbles. It was wonderful to meet you. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to know us crazy peeps over here. Yeah. It's not showing the ad? Okay, it's fine. I can do it. I can do it. Snooze. Okay. Got it. Alright. How many people? We got 15. What do we got on? Yeah, get your last minute fishies in while you can, guys. Alright. Let's see. Alright, I don't want to watch... Oh, okay. We're gonna raid Vic. Victoria's on. Victoria's on, and she is doing a 24-hour subathon, and she's an hour and a half into it, so let's go. Let's go. Guys, if you don't know who Victoria is, she's one of my favorite streamers. I spend most of my evenings over on her channel. She is from Australia, and she's awesome, and I love her, and I adore her so, so much. So let's go hang out with her. Should be live tomorrow, if everything goes okay, if everything goes well, if work doesn't kill me, it should be live tomorrow. We'll see. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate you all. Have a good one. Later. Later.